Five Out Basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome to the 16th edition of the 5 Out podcast. As normal, I am Joey LeMaster, joined by Everton, Levy. I'm in a new setup. I'm in my living room. You'll see this one more time before I move into my new place because I'll be moving next week. A lot of hype there. But Everton, school's almost over. How are we doing?
Bro, finals week. I need this shit. I need sorry. I need this to just hurry up, bro. Like I have a final tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Oh, hell nah.
Yeah,
Wait, on a
bro.
Saturday?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
nah, dude. I'm with all due respect, I'm not attending.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I cannot do that. But after Monday, I'm literally done. So I just need to get through these next few days. That's all I care about, bro.
I felt that because I'm really just so done with it. Like there was a paper I had to do. It was only worth 40 points, but like it was gonna be 6 pages. I'm like, I'm just not doing that shit, man. I'm at that point of the semester where it's like it's gonna drop me from like an A- to a B-. If I do good on the final, I'm still getting my B. I don't care. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna fail the class.
Nah, bro. I feel the same way, bro. I feel the same way.
So my last final is Monday, but then I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
spend Tuesday through Thursday moving because Young America's so awesome. We're like move out days gonna be the 11th, but then move in days the 12th. Ha 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 ha. So I'm just gonna move in early because they're dickheads.
Oh
But
man.
screw our lives. You guys aren't here to hear about how we're doing socially. You hear about some playoff basketball, and
Yup.
we have hoops to talk about because the playoffs have been so eventful. There's so much I want to talk about because me and Everton, we talk a little bit of basketball before we get into the segments, but we'll just spoil what we have coming up. So that's why we're just going to dive straight into it. As
Yeah.
normal, 5 out, 5 segments, one little silly goose thing at the end. It's what we do best. Everton, you ready to talk hoops?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, let's talk hoops because as of right now, 6 teams have been eliminated.
Yep.
There could be 7 potentially with how this last minute 15 goes, but it's looking
Pretty
good for the
much.
Magic.
Yeah, it is.
So we're going to talk about these eliminated teams and what's next for them. Are they finished? How can they improve? Let's get into it. And right off the bat, Everton, I want to talk Phoenix Suns.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Because their owner came out and said, there's about 26 teams that will want to be in our position. No, there is not. There is not at all. The Phoenix Suns, they were 6th in the West, which sounds nice with a record of 49-33. But then they got swept by the Timberwolves in embarrassing fashion. And not only was it like, oh, it was close, it was just a slaughter fest. And every hole you had for the Phoenix Suns was shown. I find it really funny because coming into the series, I had worries for both sides.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves survived all the allegations. The Suns didn't survive one.
Not one. Literally not one. It's sad.
Yeah.
To be honest.
This team has their star player, their 3 stars tied together for 160 million, have no role players, have no actual point guard. Their center's a loser who's not doing anything in the paint. Nothing off the bench. No draft. Well, they have a draft pick this year, then nothing till 2031. This team is in hell, but apparently there's 26 other teams that would want to be the Phoenix Suns. Laughable.
No. So I
What's next,
think
Everton?
what I think they should do is blow it up. But based on what their owner said yesterday, it doesn't sound like they're planning on doing that.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, I say blow it up because you literally can't get any better. I know you said they have a draft pick this year, but
Yeah.
come on. What are they really going to do with a rookie? Now, especially where they're picking at is why I'm saying that specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't bank on some rookie in the draft to just change your whole franchise around. Like, I mean, that can happen. But again, when you're picking in like the 20s or late teens, you cannot bank your whole franchise on that one dude because that's too much pressure. And then you have no cap room. So you're going to be signing me and you, bro. At this point, like they have no cap room. So your best bet is to capitalize on the 2 players who actually still have value. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Yeah, Everton, that's exactly what I said. I didn't say completely blow it up, but you got to retool. It's got to be one of Devin Booker or Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
With all due respect for the people, it's like, oh, trade Bradley Beal. This isn't 2K. No one's taking that 50 million. And he had a no trade clause. Is that the worst contract in basketball? Because
Yes.
that is
Well,
ridiculous.
there might be one other guy, but he's a free agent, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But
We'll be talking about him shortly.
we will. Yes, we will. But
Yeah.
like people who think Bradley Beal's tradable, like bro, this ain't 2K where I could just think about it like this. If you were a GM at 2K, you trading some value for an 83 overall, making 50 mil. Let me put
Nope.
that in perspective. No, you're not doing
Yeah,
that
not
unless
at
you're an
all.
idiot. But hey, that's between you and yourself,
Yeah.
bro.
Unless
But
you're the Phoenix Suns GM who was literally trying to do a 2K rebuild building this team because no point guard, no center, no depth. But hey, I have an upper 80 and 290s. Surely I'll win.
here's the
No, not
thing.
at all.
This is a perfect example of like the death of like super teams. Like
Mhm.
gone are the days where all right, you got two superstars and another star in like mid, you could still probably win a chip with that a roster like that back then. Now, yo, you need probably two stars and like a roster, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or at least like down to 8 players, like something like that. You
Mhm.
can't just have Booker, KD, and Beal, and then Grayson Allen. Look, not no hate to him, but I'm saying like Grayson Allen being that important to your team just says enough. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Like,
So
is Royce
yeah,
O'Neal really gonna move the needle for us? Is Nurkic gonna do it? It's not. You need to
no,
build deep teams. And the Suns, if they want to do that, it's gotta be one of Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. In all honesty, I feel like you will want to build around Devin Booker, but
yeah,
Kevin Durant's probably gonna demand a trade, so it's just gonna work out easier for them. It's the KD method. We know how this goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the pudding's already there. I
Mhm.
didn't really fit into this offense like I wanted to. Yep, he's already setting it out there. He's already
Mhm.
putting it out there at this point. So we
Okay,
kind of
and
see it. Oh, go
this adds
ahead.
on to the second thing for what the Suns need to do.
Yeah,
Do not fire Frank Vogel because they're trying to that team is trying to scapegoat him so hard. And
we'll
it's
save Frank Vogel
ridiculous.
for later. I might have just spoiled something, but
Ooh.
we'll save it for later.
Yeah, I
We'll save it
won't
for
dive
later.
too much into that thing. But
Yeah.
all I'm saying is like apparently he was like so mad at them after like their big I think it was against the Clippers where they just got like killed in the first quarter and like he went in on them after the game and players started laughing. I'm sorry. Unless you're Katie, Booker, or Beal, if you're laughing during my scolding, you're
Shut
off my
up.
team. You're literally
Yeah.
benched. Like you're getting 0 minutes, healthy DNP, bro. Like who are you guys? And so
Simmer down.
I think he's a coach I still trust, and even though these loser
Mhm.
ass players don't for some reason. But yeah, get as much value while you can because I know he says he wants to run it back. You can't. A change needs
No.
to happen because you don't have
Yeah.
enough depth where it's like, oh, injury screwed us. Like we
Mhm.
saw what the peak of the Suns team was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
So let's go Eastern Conference then. And Everton, do you want no pick your Eastern Conference team because there's two I think is more exciting to talk about than the third.
Um, I'm honestly, I want to talk about the Sixers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we need to talk
So,
about Philadelphia. Which
so,
can I toot my horn real quick?
oh, go ahead, bro. Yeah.
You thought the Knicks were gonna mollywop the 76ers. And I thought it was gonna be a Knicks series win. But that was the most entertaining series we've seen in a
It
long time
was.
in the first round. That was
It
peak
definitely
cinema.
was. It
And
honestly, I'm not even mad at my prediction. I did not. Let me say this right now. Joel Embiid, you earned some of my respect. Now you're a little dirty flopper guy. You've been doing some dirty plays and flopping a lot, but I
yeah,
cannot be mad at a guy who actually went out there and played in the condition that he was in. I can't even be mad
absolutely.
at that. When your eye is like twitching and like literally half of your face is like not working, basically.
Mhm.
I respect that. And I'm on a bad knee too. Had a 50-point game, like a 39. Like he, had some decent games. Obviously, last night. Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, I can respect him for actually still playing, but I didn't think he was going to play up to this level. I thought he was going to be like last year Joel Embiid, where he's injured and then has averages 10 less points than he did in the regular season. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And he played a little bit better than that, so that's why I thought it would be in 5. But him playing up to that standard definitely made it go to 6, and it damn near could have been 7. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And for all my Joel Embiid haters, because I know Everton was giving some praise, so let's ruin it because we gotta push agendas here.
of course, yeah,
Embiid in the fourth quarter had a field goal percentage of 23.1 and 11.1 from 3-point line in the fourth quarter throughout this whole series. Just want to point that out. But
damn,
Embiid, I thought he showed up, but who really showed up was Tyrese Maxey.
yes, hmm
Maxey was a bona fide guy. Like there was at moments, like not too seriously saying this, but there was times I was like, Oh, is the 76ers Tyrese Maxey's team?
Yeah, I won't even lie. I was kind of considering that too. Like, I gotta give
The Cavs are so embarrassing. Oh my
yeah,
god.
that's why I did that face. Um, but when it comes to Maxi, like, hopefully, I hope Bulls fans don't hate him because of like the whole most improved thing. Because like
Uh-huh.
he's genuinely a good dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that grandma where it's like, who's that? Maxi.
Oh, that's
Boy.
sweet. That's sweet.
It's a good video, but like I like Tyrese Maxey. So, but he showed up. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie, Tyrese showed up, bro. Like that game 5, he
oh my
he might have to do that LeBron thing. Like game 6 I had in Boston, right bump
god.
shoulder guy. I'm not even a right bump shoulder guy. I'm
Mhm.
like, come on, bro. But yeah, man, Maxey really showed up. I gotta give him credit. Like I'm not gonna say he carried Embiid because that would be just inaccurate, but people have been questioning, oh, who's gonna be can Maxey really fill James Harden's shoes? He did.
He
And
did,
even
and then
more low
more.
key.
Yeah, I would say he
Yeah.
broke the shoe open like it's Zion Williamson at Duke. Like he broke that shoe open.
Yeah, bro. He did his thing. I can't even be mad at him, bro.
But what's next for the 76ers? Most obvious one. Tobias Harris, get the
Bye.
fuck out of there.
He's a free agent. So
Zero.
0.
Zero.
Me and you had the same amount of points as Tobias Harris last night, bro.
That's awful.
Bro.
Dude, so I dog out Kendrick Perkins a lot, but he had the funniest quote I think
Yeah,
I've ever heard.
that
Where
bro.
he said, and I quote, they asked Tobias Harris to get us Chick-fil-A, and he came back with straws and napkins. How do you even come
Oh,
up with
I
that?
don't even know. Kendrick Perkins is hungry all the time. So he was always gonna use a food analogy. But that was one of the funniest things I heard. But that was
Yeah.
so funny. But Tobias
Elite.
Harris, bro,
You're
like
gone.
you're
You
gone.
didn't you
0
didn't show
points.
up like you didn't show up
Oh,
once. Like I know Buddy Hield has inconsistencies and like we were dogging on him a little bit. But
yeah.
Tobias Harris did not show up in any of those 6 games. And that's supposed to be your
No.
third guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't even top 5. He wasn't even top 8. He
He
was
damn near shouldn't
used
have played.
He shouldn't have. He should have been a healthy scratch because he
Literally.
wasn't making a shot. He
And he's not
wasn't
playing
playing
defense.
defense. Just
Mm-mm.
a liability. He was just out there getting cardio, doing the fitness gram
Cardio.
pacer test.
Literally just straight cardio. Because hey, Tobias is one of those dudes, and this is where the league starting to shift. Bro, if you are only good at one thing and it's only offense, like just scoring, if you're only decent at scoring and can't play no defense, you're almost cooked, bro. Because the second your shots are falling, you literally should not be on the court
Mhm.
because you can't bring anything of value.
You're a Washington Wizard, buddy. Yeah,
And if any team gives him big money, you're an idiot. That's on
idiot.
you.
Yeah, I
But
saw it made me laugh that betting favorites are Detroit Pistons to land him in free agency. I was like, oh man, you can't make this stuff up. That'd be the most Piston
oh,
signing of all time.
that literally would. I won't lie.
Yeah,
But
but to go towards the 76ers, a lot of
yeah.
these teams we're going to talk about, they're kind of screwed. The
Mhm.
76ers are projected to have the second most cap space.
Yeah.
They got some draft capital. That's
Mhm.
nuts.
Yeah.
Having Embiid and Maxey on your team to have this cap room is awesome.
Yeah.
So Everton, I have, let me see, I think it's 2, it might be 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 free agents and 2 re-signings I think the Sixers to do this offseason.
I just have one major free agent or another idea.
Okay,
Uh
you want to go first?
you want me to explain all of them? I could just explain all of them.
Yeah, just going.
All right. So the one free agent that we've heard rumors about is Paul George. Now I know how you feel about Paul George, but you cannot deny Paul George is a legitimately good player.
Mhm.
And he would at least bring more than Tobias Harris,
Absolutely.
right? So if they really want to go big or go home and get another star, I'd say go after Paul George. Why not? Like he could bring some solid defense. He's not the defender he used to be, but he can still play. He'll play some defense.
Mhm.
Play more defense than Tobias Harris. And he'll at least bring some more offensively than Tobias Harris as well. And you put him alongside Embiid and Maxey, that could be a legitimate like top, like a nice little big 3.
Mhm.
But I honestly feel like this is now I'm gonna give you a good comparison, so maybe you'll catch it. I think they should just get a lot of solid role players. Now, I
Mhm.
know that's a boring route, but here's my philosophy, right? You look at the Nuggets. You
Yeah.
got Jokic, who's a top 3. He's the best player in the world. I don't even know I'm trying to do top 3. He's the best player in the world, right?
Yeah.
Best player in the world. And you got Jamal Murray, who's one of the best guards, right? Who
Mhm.
will show up when you need him, right? And then the rest of the roster is like role players. Like MPJ is like he's like a star role player. Same with Aaron Gordon, like a star role player, but like they're role players, right? And then like other guys like
Can I be honest?
yeah.
This is maybe a hot take. I'm gonna throw it out here now.
Hmm.
After this series, I do not think Michael Porter Jr. is a role player. I genuinely think he could be a high caliber number 2, even a low
third
caliber
option.
1 on some teams.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm saying in the Nugget system, he almost does get minimized to 1.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong. The bag is there. Like,
Yeah,
you
I think it
know,
was some crazy statistic where like he was averaging like 30 some, like 27 points per game, like 8-ish rebounds, a lot of assists on like unreal efficiency, like almost like 60% field goal percentage or
yeah.
something nuts. Like I wish I had it pulled up. I didn't write it down because I wasn't planning on talking about Michael Porter Jr. on this podcast. But I remember
Yeah.
seeing, I was like, that's just ridiculous. Like that's not
Yeah.
a role player.
That is not, he's not like a legitimate role player, but like that's why I said star role player,
Yeah.
where it's like on most
Ooh,
teams. Oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
Future Lakers head coach JJ Redick's on my screen.
Oh, we'll talk. But okay, look.
Sorry, my fault for sidetracking.
No, you're good, bro. Because it fits in with what I'm talking about. With the Nuggets, like they have a bunch of really good role players with their 2 like stars, right? And I think for the Sixers, the proof is in the pudding. If you have Embiid, who's again a top 5 NBA player, right? Who to a degree he performs like he's the best player in the league in the regular season, at least, right? Tyrese Maxey, who we literally just seen, shows he can elevate his play, right?
Yeah.
And then if you fill out this roster with, I'm not saying legit like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, but like get players of that caliber with other really good role players with the amount of money you have, that could be a contender. I feel like they should do something like that instead of going for a big star like a Paul George, who you don't know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like it could either blow up in your face because he's getting older, or it works out. Who knows? I feel like the other route is the safer route.
Yeah, I kind of like that because you look at the New York Knicks, for example, who I'll be talking about a lot. Like they have like 1 star, and then you can make an argument they don't have a second option. It's just a bunch of elite role players, like elite.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So it's clear that route can work, but I also think the 76ers are going to go for a 3rd star.
Yeah.
I didn't go Paul George though, just because I just refuse to believe to think Los Angeles is going to let him leave. I just don't think it's going to happen, especially with the new stadium. They want to sell out seats, so I think he's going to be coming back. I had the 76ers getting DeMar DeRozan. And I think that because DeMar, like, he's been the number 1 option for 3 years. I think he could be an elite number 3. Like, I think
what's funny?
What's up?
Anytime I play 2K, I make sure he gets on the Sixers. I just always see it. I always see him in the Sixers jersey. Like, I feel like it would really fit. So I'm happy you said that, to be honest. But yeah, continue.
Hold on. Is PJ Tucker starting?
Yes, I know I wasn't tripping when I looked up and they were doing the jump ball and I saw PJ Tucker, but
okay,
we were busy
Mavericks,
talking about
congratulations on winning the series. We'll get back to that. That's
so Clippers,
ridiculous.
what do you guys want to do next? But no, go ahead.
Oh my God. Oh, it threw me off. Anyways, I think DeMar would be an elite 3rd option for the 76ers because unlike Tobias Harris, he's not going to be afraid to shoot the ball.
No.
So you don't got to worry about that. And then another thing is, I thought was a major flaw for the 76ers is like they really needed Embiid to play 48 minutes when he had like 1 leg and no eyes.
Yeah.
And like, so you got to get a backup center you can trust to score the ball. And like, I've crapped on this guy a couple times on the podcast, but I think coming off the bench, he would be awesome. Get Jonas Valanciunas on a somewhat realistic contract because you have the cap space to spend, and that's gonna be a center who can score off the bench. And I think it'd be awesome because like Embiid, with his physical condition, will never give you 48 minutes in a playoff game. You are asking way too much.
Way too much.
Get a center you can trust, and that's Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah.
And I believe with the 76ers, you got to bring back Buddy Hield and you got to bring back Nicholas Batum. Those are real players you need. I know Buddy Hield was kind of off the first couple games, but game 6 proved why you give Buddy Hield a chance because when he gets hot, he's always going to be one of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
Yeah. And then with Batum, hey, I know that bar is like funny with the wide up Batum in, but he's legit still really good. Like
he's an underrated 3-and-D guy. Like I've always crapped on him. Like the play in and playoffs made me realize like, oh, this is actually a legit 3-and-D player. I got to show him, give him his flowers because I like to make fun of him just off that meme alone. Literally ruined his legacy.
It did. It low key did. Like a lot of people, for them, all they know about Nicholas Batum is that, and the Hornets giving him like $140 million. That's literally all people know about him. But like he is a legit good player, and shout out to him for doing what he did in the playoffs. So, but yeah, I think the Sixers go that route. Either I like the DeMar signing and do something like that, or go straight, get really good role players who could just help your team get better.
And as a Chicago Bulls fan, please take DeMar. And I'm not saying that because he's bad. Yeah. I just cannot watch us run this back one more time.
No.
Please take it. Doesn't even need to be a sign and trade. Just please take him.
Just take him. Yeah.
And I'll be cheering for him. I'm not taking like, take him because he's bad. It's just I'm not watching the Bulls continuity crap anymore. I'm done.
No. It's far gone. You got to move on. You got to move on.
But let's talk about another team in the East that might be screwed.
You can keep talking. I need to actually get a charger for my computer, but go ahead and say
Okay,
what you got.
before you take off the headphones, we're talking Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, cool. Oh, I like that. All
Yeah,
right.
because it's gonna get juicy in here. Because I don't think people are ready for the conversation me and Everton are about to have. Because I know we feel the same
Uh,
way.
yeah.
The Milwaukee Bucks, third in the East, record of 49-33, lost in 6 to the Pacers, back-to-back first-round exits. And
Damn.
this team is screwed.
Yep.
There's no cap space left.
Mm-hmm.
These players are all like 80 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so old. It's ridiculous. And you have no picks, and Doc Rivers is your coach.
Yep.
But you want to know what I said, Everton? Like, what's next? Or what can they do?
What can they do?
I should have said nothing. I think this team's forced to run it back.
Yep.
And they're just stuck. Because here's the thing. You're not trading Giannis. That's just not happening.
No.
Dame has lost significant value, and you can't go up on that after 1 year.
No.
Chris Middleton, he hooped. I gotta give Chris Middleton.
Hey.
Maybe he's your trade value, but I highly doubt it. But you gotta give Chris Middleton a chance because I wrote down his numbers for his playoff averages: 24.7 points per game, 9.2 rebounds per game, 4.7 assists per game on 48% shooting from the field. Chris Middleton, incredible. Gave Milwaukee a
Damn.
fighting chance. So you
Yeah.
have that, and then after that, Brook Lopez is 80 years old. No one's
Mhm.
taking that.
Nope.
Bobby Portis, nope. And then you have like role players. Like this team, like is Bobby Portis trading him? Is that gonna give you the assets you're looking for? It's not. So I feel
No.
like the Bucks. I mean, I'm gonna talk about Doc Rivers later, so I'm not gonna elaborate too much on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But outside of a coaching thing, what can the Bucks realistically do? Because the Suns, you can make an argument for a trade. It's like, you tried doing the KD Booker thing, it didn't work. So maybe you could trade one of those guys or another
Yeah.
team we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
This Bucks, like you don't trade Dame after one season. It's just not gonna happen. And so this team, I just think they're screwed. Like they have no choice but to run it back.
Yeah. And all I really could write down was you have to evaluate this roster and make some tough decisions. But I kind of just wrote that down because I'm like, I don't even know what else to put because it's like literally what else can they do? Because unless you really do some dumb ass shit and trade Giannis, which I don't think they'll do that. Because the
No.
only way Giannis gets traded is if he's like, get me out of here. But
Yeah.
unless he does that, no way they do that, you know? Um, and then with Dame, look, for what you gave up, it's gonna be hard to trade him and get fair value back unless you're okay with literally getting some BS. But I know they don't want to do something like that. So you kind of have to keep Dame. Chris Middleton, again, before the series, I kind of called him K mid. Nah, bro, you're good.
Yeah.
No hate.
The diamond tester came out and your chain was real.
Your chain was real. Like you were good. I can't even lie. He's the reason why this even was 6 games because without Chris Middleton, them boys was getting swept.
Especially by
Like,
my boys Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell.
hey, right? So, but Brook Lopez, literally, what are you getting for Brook Lopez? There's nothing you can get from Brook Lopez. Bobby Portis, as much as that's my twin, what can you realistically improve your team off of with a Bobby Portis trade? Right.
Nothing.
So I feel like you said, they kind of just have to stay put with this team. Like, yeah, maybe you might be able to sign some new role players, but you're gonna just end up being like the Suns, where it's like, nah, bro, don't sleep on DeLon Wright, bro. And it's like, I'm asleep, you know?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So, but it's like for them, they literally have to stay put with this team. Outside of a head coaching change, which we'll probably touch on later, but outside of something like that, you have to stay with this team. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
that's the part that really sucks because there's some teams that can lose. Like, let's say, for example, the Minnesota Timberwolves lose the Denver Nuggets. That's a team that could run it back and not have to make like significant moves. Like, you would be content with running it back. This Bucks team, you can't be content with running it back, but you have no choice. And that's why I'm so worried about the Bucks. I tweeted it out yesterday that Giannis needs to get out of Milwaukee. And I'm not gonna lie, he's gotta stop being so nice. Like I know they pay his brother and all this. To be honest, you're gonna hurt your career because I saw the craziest graphic today where they were like breaking down eras and they're talking about this new era, and they used a photo of Ant, Jokic, and Luka. Giannis literally has a ring and MVP. Like, are we really erasing Giannis from history already?
Let's be honest. If we're talking about in terms of this new era, nobody else has a better legacy than Giannis. Realistically, I know Jokic just did what he did, but him and Jokic are the same MVPs and Finals MVPs, and he has a D point.
Yeah, the only thing that Jokic has is just consistent team wins because Milwaukee had the
Yes.
1 year. Like,
Hmm.
we're already replacing Giannis with Anthony Edwards. Like, we were that quick with it. So that's why, like, Giannis, you might need to get out of Milwaukee, man.
You know that aura really do something.
Mm.
Just saying. But
And
uh
they don't like your kind in Milwaukee, Giannis. Get out of
ooh,
there.
we did peep something. We've seen it with our own eyes. That's all I gotta
Tyrese
say.
Halliburton seen it too. Me and
He
Everton, we weren't pushing fake agendas over here. We never do.
they're top three in something. Um no, but seriously, like I don't know where else the team goes unless they really do just say, you know what, Giannis, got to say goodbye to you, buddy.
That'd
But
be
yeah, the
nuts.
Bucks are definitely kind of stuck. They're kind
Mm.
of stuck. Not gonna lie, they're kind of stuck.
Yeah, they're stuck, but I believe there's a team that's not stuck. And I'm gonna go to the New Orleans Pelicans.
Mm,
The Pelicans, they had a good series. I really thought they were the dark horse until Zion got injured, and then they were
yeah,
just bound to get swept by the Thunder.
yeah.
But this Pelicans team, man, I wrote this down. I'm
Mm,
so impressed because they're deep with young guys. They have veteran guys as well. And then they have 3 first-round picks this year, 2 next year, and then they have the Bucks picks till 2027.
damn. Oh, I forgot them. Don't they have like some of the most picks behind like obviously my team and then
Yeah.
uh like the Spurs or whatever?
hmm So you want to know what this team needs to do?
What's up?
I'm gonna go back on a claim. There's a trade I've been rooting for this offseason, and I'm gonna flip it. I wanted
Okay.
Trey Young to the Spurs. I want Trey Young to the Pelicans now.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll
I
let you
think the
cook.
Pelicans can make a more enticing package than the Spurs can because the Pelicans, you can give them a high, like a former All-Star, you can give them young guys, and you can give them any draft pick in the world. You give
Yeah.
one of Brandon Ingram or CJ McCollum. Hopefully Brandon Ingram, because another step for what's next. Trey Murphy has to start. There's just too
Yep.
many dogs on the team. Trey Murphy has to start. So you give him Brandon Ingram, and then you have young guys like you can give him a Jordan Hawkins, you can give him a Dyson Daniels, and
Yep.
then you have all those draft picks. That's gonna be if I'm the Atlanta Hawks owner and I know I need to move on from Chair DeJounte Murray. The Pelicans have a trade package I'm so excited for.
Yeah, I'm not
And
gonna
then
lie.
what's Zion's greatest strength? It's dunking the damn ball. And you get
Mm-hmm.
one of the best alley-oop throwers in the league. The Pelicans move
Hey.
needles. Because here's the thing. CJ McCollum low-key crapped his pants this playoffs. But
Oh
I think
my
they were
God.
asking him to do a little too much as a
Yeah.
shooting guard that needs to hike the point guard role and start moving the ball around doing all this. I think CJ McCollum's still gonna be a good shooting guard. And you have Herb Jones as well, so you can interchange them. You're
Mm-hmm.
telling me a lineup of let's say Trey Young, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion, and Valanciunas if he's still there, or they decide to get another center like I believe they should.
Yeah.
That team's moving needles.
Especially defense, like you need a guy like Herb Jones next to Trey Young.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly. That's the perfect person next. Maybe outside of OG Anunoby, but that's about it. So that's why this offseason, Pelicans, you need to make a trade. You got to move on from Brandon Ingram. And if you can get a point guard, like I was going to originally say just get a point guard, but I
mhm.
realized they have so many assets to work with where you don't just get a point guard, you get an all-star caliber point guard to pair with Zion
Mhm.
because Zion's not always the healthiest. So you would want another star there. Give me Trey
Yeah.
Young and Zion, and that Pelicans team is moving mountains in New Orleans.
I'm not mad at that. I literally wrote for mine. I just wrote it might be time to move on from BI
hmm
and get a real point guard. So I literally wrote exactly what you just said. That's why I'm like, he just said exactly what I was. I didn't even think about Trey Young specifically. I just said a point guard in general because look, I don't have anything against CJ McCollum, but he's not a point guard. Let's just
He's
be
not.
honest. He's not a point guard. And that's okay. Like he kind of got moved into that role. But I know people might bring up, oh, what about point forward Zion? Yeah, it's a cool luxury to have, but you're
Mhm.
better off having an actual point guard with Zion, even with him having the capabilities of doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
It makes it better
exactly.
for him. So I agree with the Trey Young thing. Because like you just brought up, they have a lot of assets. Because look, you trade away Ingram and like some draft capital, or whatever, and get Trey Young in return. One, if you're the Hawks, who we're not going to discuss in this video, but if you're the Hawks, look, getting a guy like Brandon Ingram in return and placing him with DeJounte, you actually could be better,
hmm
honestly. Like,
No, literally.
because you know what I'm saying? Because Trey Young, while he's not a bad player, him and DeJounte's fit is a little questionable, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. But I think like Ingram and DeJounte would probably fit a little bit better.
hmm
Um, and then for the Pelicans, you literally just described everything that they need, right, with
hmm
Trey Young. And then, like I said, the team makeup is good. And so my question to you actually is, so let's say you trade BI and some picks maybe even another young player
It's
for
probably
Trey
gonna have to
Young.
be a young player.
Yeah, a
I'd
young
say
player.
preferably Jordan Hawkins because like you low key want the backup point guard in Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, and the defense he brings too.
Yeah.
Um, if you do that, do you also trade CJ or do you keep CJ?
I mean, in my personal opinion, I would want to keep CJ because I think it would be a great 6 man, or depending on what rotation you need, he can start over Herb Jones. So I would want to keep CJ. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm getting Trey Young, I'm really not gonna be like, no, dude, we need CJ McCollum on this team. I can't take Trey Young. If they really want him that bad, sure.
Why not?
But if you want CJ, I'm keeping my young guys. So it's either you're
Okay.
getting CJ or you're getting one of the young players. And if I'm the Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
Hawks, I probably want one of the younger players.
Yeah, yeah,
I think Jordan Hawkins would be a great benefit to have off the bench with the shooting.
yeah.
So that's my opinion.
I agree. I like that. You cooked with the Trey Young one. I didn't even think about that, but because I've been kind of just locked in on, yeah, Trey Young's going to the Spurs. That's all I've been thinking about. But that's a good shout, honestly. Shout out to Joey for that one, bro. I ain't gonna
Thank
lie.
you. Yeah, let's manifest that. Let's just manifest getting Trey Young out of Atlanta first.
Low key.
One
That's
step at a
really
time. One step at a time.
one step at a time because that's where it starts. That's literally where it starts.
Yeah, it's just because like I really don't want it to be DeJounte's because I don't think Trey Young has a higher ceiling. But then I
Mm.
saw people talking about, oh, does someone really want DeJounte Murray leading their team? Like, would the Hawks really want that to happen? So
I
we're
don't
gonna
know if
see.
they really
The
want that.
ceiling's the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh man, that's funny.
we got 2 more teams left. The Orlando Magic survived these allegations, and the Clippers are
Yep.
lucky we're recording early.
Yep.
So let's talk.
Um.
I want to end on the Lakers, so let's go to the Miami Heat.
Okay. So can I go first with the Heat?
Yes, you may.
Go after a star this offseason.
Yeah.
Like my biggest thing. Look, Tyler Hero. I rock with you. You are my guy. I rock with you. The Heat need to stop being so untouchable with Tyler Hero. I know that came
Mhm.
off really weird, but like you know what
No,
I mean.
I get what you're cooking.
Like every time a player is available, they're like, do we want to give up Tyler Hero? Give up Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like Donovan Mitchell becomes available this offseason, which he will.
He will.
He just dropped 50, I think, and they
Yeah.
lost, right?
Even if the Cavs win the series, he will be available.
He'll be available, right? And there's suitors out there. The Knicks might be calling the Cavs the second he's available because they're like, look, we want Donovan Mitchell in New York,
Mhm.
but he'd love to go to Miami. You know, I mean, he'd be cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Make the phone call and offer Tyler Hero right away. Because look, at the end of the day, you looking at Donovan Mitchell, Butler, and Bam versus Tyler Hero, Butler, and Bam, completely different things. And it's not
Absolutely.
like the Heat don't have assets. They have assets. Like
Mhm.
Hero, one of those young dudes, and they have picks. It's not like they don't have picks. They have picks,
Mhm.
right? I actually think the Knicks might have a better package,
Mhm.
but again, both teams have a solid package.
Yeah.
Go after a guy like Donovan Mitchell, or if Kevin Durant were to become available, maybe
Mhm.
make that move too.
D-Book.
Right? D-Book. Like there's guys that you see what I'm saying? There's gonna be stars available this offseason. Please do not let Tyler Hero be the deciding factor between you getting another star.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Before I tag along to that, because Everton's idea were kind of similar to mine.
Mm,
Literally last segment or last podcast, I asked Everton, what stars are even going to be available this offseason? Let's say
yeah.
there might be a lot of them.
Hey.
My opinions changed that much in a week. But my idea was kind of similar, not kind of similar to Everton, because Everton was talking about how they got to stop being stingy.
Mm,
My Heat one, I didn't talk about any players or whether they need to change rotation. They
yeah.
need a change in a mentality and a change of how they scheme things because all this, we're just going to wait till playoffs and be an 8 seed.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
shit
You can't
needs
do
to
that.
stop.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a consistent way of making it to the
No.
finals no more.
Mm-mm.
I'm sick of it. It's not a cool vibe we should be bringing to the league. And the Heat need to
Yeah.
move on from that because with this scheme, they have no offensive system at all. This team is embarrassing to watch. Like, listen, I know they had no Jimmy Butler at all, so I wasn't expecting them to beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
But even before that, this team just looks lost on offense. It's like YMCA hoops out there.
Yeah.
All this wait until the last minute, like it's Joey LeMaster doing his finals. It needs to stop. It's not gonna work. So I think if the Heat want to become legit, they need to do this because there's this weird thing about the Heat where like they get these nobodies and somehow turn them into something. They're like the Brighton Albion of the NBA. But
Yeah.
Brighton, they always finish middle of the pack. That's what the Miami Heat are going to be with this consistent mentality. If we're just getting these random guys, we're going to BS till the end of the season, and then we'll be an 8 seed. And we're just going to beat the Celtics. That needs to change. You cannot keep banking on that. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm not even talking players. Getting a star player, yeah, they should do that, no question. But none of it's gonna work until the mentality in Miami changes.
Yeah, they got to stop just banking on everything just being heat culture. Like, there's only so much that's really going to do for you.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just bank on, all right, we made this random dude good, and then now he's going to go to the Lakers and ghost. Ooh.
Yeah. Talk to
But
him.
no,
Talk to him.
like, no, I really, realistically, though, like, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, y'all can't just keep doing this. We'll just make it through. Once we get into the play-in, we'll make it out the play-in and just be whoever. No, bro, it's just not that simple. Because, look, you're better off well, I guess losing is losing, but you're better off making it to the conference finals and losing to like the 1 seed or something than you having to slave yourselves through the play-in, then play the 1 seed in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Like, stop making like you ever seen that meme where it's like, I went to my landlord this morning and told him up the rent because I'm so locked in and challenging myself. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't make it worse for yourself. Make sure you're a good team in the regular season, so the playoffs don't have to be such a grind for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, like you said, star player, they definitely need to do that. Like that's a lock in. Because here's the other thing, right? Bam has gotten
Oh.
better. Yeah, I know that looked very nasty.
Derek Lively just did a Simone Biles split on the court.
That was insane. Yeah, I try not to react because we're whatever, but
Sorry, my fault. It's
no,
just,
no
I thought we just saw some ligaments get torn. I got nervous.
yeah, I was a little scared there too.
Replay. Good idea, guys. I hate TV. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That's so bad. That's so bad.
But Bam, whatchamacallit, he's getting better, and I think we're teetering on a conversation about Bam being the best player in the Heat. Just saying.
We are.
But with Jimmy, look, he's getting older. Injuries are starting to get a little bit more freaky for him. You can't just bank on, hey guys, Jimmy's gonna be MJ in the playoffs. Look, you can't bank on that every time. You need to get another guy who can also play the playoffs. That's why I say get Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
In my case.
And because it really pisses me off with this Heat team because I look at their roster. This team's better than the Pacers. This team's better than the Magic. This team's better than the Cavs. Why are you guys the 8th seed? It's just dumb. So that's why I want them to change mentality wise because they have.
I agree. It all starts there too. To be honest, it all starts there.
But that's going to leave us with one team left. And how could we not end on the Los Angeles Lakers? Went from the most competitive sweep to the most competitive 5-game series against the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
And they just moved on from their head coach. But there's a lot of holes with this team. The depth stinks. The depth stinks a lot. Like this team's so like poopy stinky. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Their stars are getting older. Well, LeBron's getting older. AD is like getting in his prime. So Everton, what are you gonna do? Because I have two visions.
Okay, so I'm a verbatim write what I like. Tell you what I wrote down.
Okay.
I wrote pick a direction. Either you build around AD or you go full rebuild with a new coach. Oh my God, you wrote the same thing, didn't you?
Me and Everton, our wavelengths are just fucking different.
Oh,
it's different. What we do on
God.
this podcast.
Oh my God.
Me and Everton are literally the same exact people outside of the skin color. I swear to God. It's like ridiculous.
What did you write down? Like, what did you write down word for word?
Okay, I wrote down you either got to commit to the rebuild or you got to retool around AD and let LeBron leave this offseason. You can't make this up.
Literally can't make this up. Well, I guess since I went first,
Yeah.
I might as well just elaborate.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to building our AD, look, if it wasn't clear already, he is the best player on his team.
Yes, he is. He's not the best second guy in the league no more.
No, it all starts with Anthony Davis. He is the guy you build around Anthony. He played 76 games this year, so he's shown you that he could be healthy. He's been good on both ends. I mean, if we're being honest, he should be in the deep boy conversation too. But they
snubbed him. They snubbed him.
But here's the thing: you can even almost say he didn't get snubbed because the 3 guys ahead of him are like they're really good too,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like he's clearly a top 5 defensive player in the league, right? And then offensively, look, I know we're gonna have the bag to. He's still gonna get you an efficient 26 to 27 with like 12 rebounds and like 3-4 assists. Cool. You build around that guy. When it comes to LeBron, you gotta make a decision. I know they already hinted at like, oh, we're gonna draft Bronny and we're gonna re-sign LeBron.
Go do that, LA. That's the most Lakers thing in the world.
First off, I like Bronny. I like Bronny. Do not waste a pick on Bronny. If you can draft a legitimately like good young player, please do that. Do
Mhm.
not draft Bronny strictly because of LeBron. That would be the dumbest thing you could do. I do think Bronny can end up becoming an NBA player, but I think go one more year in college, bro.
Yeah.
Do one more year in college. Show him because he had the heart attack stuff. One more year in college. Lakers, do not waste a first round pick or whatever on Bronny when you can go draft an actual player. Like, oh, sorry, not an actual player, but like someone who can help you right away.
Yeah, because here's the
Right?
thing: the Lakers need help right off the bat so bad. Because as I
Exactly.
said a million times right before we start talking about the Lakers, the depth of this team sucks, and the fact they were able to
Sucks.
be competitive against the Nuggets blows my mind. And I think it says so much about how good LeBron and AD are. I
Yep.
think it says a little bit about Austin Reeves. D'Lo's just
Mhm.
so inconsistent. But outside of that, the team like actually is awful.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about that with a little bit Darvin Ham later because I think they scapegoated him a little too much.
Mhm. Yeah.
But so this team cannot afford to just draft Bronny because this team is in a depth hole.
Mhm.
And if you're gonna retool around 80, there's one thing I'm gonna say though. Please
Yeah.
let him be a power forward. Do not build around him as a center. I think his game is built to be a power forward, and that's been one of the
Mhm.
Lakers' biggest flaws is they've had
Yeah.
AD be a center, which just isn't his natural fit. If you
Mhm.
get a center who could low key stretch the floor a little bit, doesn't have to be the best shooter in the league. I think we'd
Mhm.
see the best version of AD we've ever seen in the NBA.
I was gonna say, get more bigs. You cannot
Yes.
just say we have AD, Christian Wood, and
Mm.
Jackson Hayes. Stop
Dude,
it.
it was so unserious seeing Jackson Hayes play serious playoff minutes.
Stop. You cannot have those as your only bigs on the squad. I'm not gonna say too much on the bigs thing because you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna just not say anything. But get more bigs so AD isn't your only. Because here's the thing: you can get all cute and have Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood on the roster. They're not gonna play in the playoffs anyways. Realistically, they shouldn't be playing in the playoffs. You need to get players who can legitimately play in the playoffs as bigs. And like you said, AD is naturally a four. If Giannis is a four, AD is a four. Realistically,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So fill out this roster a little bit more. If you want to trade LeBron, I'm not gonna stop you. But you can I think LeBron can still be a good player for him. But
Mhm.
you can't just keep doing this. Hey, LeBron gonna carry us. No, bro, he's 40. You
Yeah.
can't just have this whole LeBron's gonna carry us thing because it's just not gonna work every time. You need to have a better roster around either just AD or both of them. Simple as that.
If I'm being completely honest, I want them to go with the first option, completely blow it up. But knowing how Palinko works and how the LA system is, I
Mhm.
just know it wasn't going to happen. So that's why I had the two options.
Yeah, same.
But yeah,
Same
it's
here.
just the Lakers. They know they have the two stars, but you have nothing outside of that. Just
Yeah.
they're just banking on ticket sales. In all honesty, like let's keep it real. This Lakers team, they're not looking to compete. They just want LeBron and AD to sell tickets and sell jerseys,
Which they're gonna continue to do that because it's LeBron and AD,
like
but
the Phoenix Suns and the LA Clippers are doing.
pretty much. Pretty freaking much, bro. Pretty much.
So that's what's next for these teams that got eliminated in the NBA. But Everton, what's next for us? Because I'm gonna be honest, I forgot which segment. I know we talked about it before we are getting on. So do you want us to lead us into the next segment? Because I forgot which one we're doing.
I got you. So
Thank you.
if obviously we talk about 6 teams, right?
Mhm.
And one of these teams got eliminated by
Yeah.
one of these guys,
Cool. 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 Cool.
the Phoenix Suns.
Uh-huh.
I know we saw the DX shop,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Ant-Man. We need to
Uh-huh.
address the elephant in the room. Is Anthony Edwards the best two guard in the league?
Anthony Edwards is the best two guard in the league. We don't
Yes,
need
he
to
is.
we don't need to like avoid it anymore.
No.
Anthony Edwards this postseason, 31 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 6.3 assists per game on 51% shooting. He snatched D-Book's chain,
Yeah.
and until Donovan Mitchell has had this heater today, he was stinking the bed in the playoffs
Yes.
against the
Mhm.
Orlando Magic.
Yes. Hey.
Yeah, because Anthony Edwards, I had a couple worries about him, and he threw them all out the window. Because
All
heading
of
this
them.
postseason, I did not think Anthony Edwards had any sort of passing game in his bag. I thought that was one of his biggest flaws, especially in the
Mhm.
fourth quarter. He would make some stupid passes, but
Mhm.
throughout the series, they were throwing double teams at him, and he was still making the correct pass. And what I think so huge for a star, and is why I'm really fascinated with Anthony Edwards, is
Yeah.
he realizes when he gets cold And instead of just completely shot chucking, he'll still move the ball around a little bit before he starts like shot chucking again. Give him a chance to let his teammates cook, and then he'll cook afterwards.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards in the elimination game had like 9 points in the first half and
Mm-hmm.
was lucky having a stinker, but he was still moving
Yep.
the ball around, giving other people a chance so his team could compete. And then he's ended up dropping a 40 bomb. But like, I think that's just so impressive for not just a star, but a young star as well. But I
Yeah.
think Anthony Edwards cemented himself as the best shooting guard in the league.
I agree. So I kind of touched on this before that you could have made the argument during the season that he might have actually performed the best as a two guard than anybody else.
Mm,
Realistically, you can make the argument. I would still probably say those other two guys might have maybe outperformed him, but like I wouldn't be mad at somebody who said Anthony Edwards was the best shooting guard in the league in the regular season,
mm,
but this playoff run, yeah, that solidified it. Because
mm,
I said this before, he's had some good playoffs. Last year in the playoffs, he averaged 31 as well against
mm.
the Nuggets. But it was all right. He's making a name for himself. We're seeing some things with Ant. Then the Team USA stuff, we're like, whoa, is this Michael Jordan? And then the season led his team to 56 wins, third seed. Aura is off the charts with Ant. I ain't gonna lie, the aura is just there. Like it's all there.
Mm.
And this playoffs, like you said, 38 points per game, 8 rebounds, 6 assists on 51, 44, 84.
Oh my
Like,
God.
dude, you like you said, snatched D Book's chain. I mean, he give me that. He snatched that chain off. He snatched that D Book's chain.
Yeah,
And
gave him
then
the
to
double bird, told him to suck it. Though he stole his girl while he was at it. Anthony Edwards did whatever he wanted to Devin Booker.
swept him, swept the Suns. I mean, like, just anyway, if you wanted to say, yo, I want to be the best two guard in the league, and you're going to be against Devin Booker, he literally did everything he could to just to take it away. He did everything you needed to do to take away D Book's chain. So, shout out to Anthony Edwards. I think he is clearly the best two guard in the league. Honestly, like he's right there.
Can score on all three levels, and what he can,
Yep.
which something we would have never expected. And do you remember when Anthony Edwards was about to get drafted? Like, does this guy even like basketball?
Bro,
We were
I'm
having
gonna
that
tell you something in a
conversation.
second, but go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking about that one point, but now it's crazy for what his like accusations were to now seeing that
Mm,
he is one of the best leaders in the NBA. What he's doing with this Minnesota team is incredible. Uplifts his
yeah.
teammates, always talks good about them. They can joke back and forth. This is one of the best
Mm,
leaders in the league. And
yeah.
so the fact that we were thinking Anthony Edwards like that at one point in our timelines is just nuts to me.
Bro, like I literally saw a post today where they were like, oh my God. They were like, you'll see why I said that. I'm sorry.
Okay, now it's cool. It's cool.
Um,
Keep talking.
they were like, yo, the Warriors really got Wiseman and now he's in Detroit. They're like, he's in Detroit and then somebody else is in Cancun. And somebody was like, dang, the Warriors could have Anthony Edwards. And I'm like, do y'all not know he was the first pick and not the second pick?
Yeah.
But somebody brought up this old fact that like, damn, we were once questioning if this dude really wanted to be a basketball player, and now looking at him, he's getting compared to MJ, who, let's be honest, was like a sicko when it comes to basketball, you know? So the turnaround on Ant's like whole narrative, I think is great. I think his shooting has become something that I'm impressed by because I remember coming into the league, it was like you could see that he was a big dude, like strong dude, had
Mm,
freakishly athleticism. Like he's always had that since like high school, and then like you could see the bag was there, but you could see the little flaws he had, and
mm,
shooting was one of them. But now, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna say he's like a great 3-point shooter. Like he's become a good enough 3-point shooter where it's like, yeah, you gotta respect him.
mm.
And then like the footwork is getting good. Like, yo, some of them, oh my goodness. And then like the dunks. I mean, bro, I know he said he took D Book's chain. Can you mention that he took Bradley Beal and KD's chain low key? Like,
Okay, he took Bradley Beal's Make-A-Wish chain. Let's be
you're right.
serious here.
He didn't really have a good chain.
You know,
His
like
chain
when you
was
go to
just
like Walmart, you see those little like
yeah.
claw machine chains. That's what
He
Bradley
kind
Beal
of
was
yeah.
using.
I mean, he had Bradley Beal crashing out. He had Bradley Beal crashing out in game 4, bro. I'm not gonna
Dude, that was
lie.
so bad. Oh my God. I've
Dude.
never seen a disaster. Because no, it's kind of funny. So the listeners don't know about this.
Yeah.
We were debating if we were going to do this player breakdown, Anthony Edwards or Bradley Beal shit in the bed. Like, we were really thinking about it. Like,
It was like a toss up, but we're like, you know what? Let's be honest. Anthony Edwards is probably more fun to talk about than just talking about how ass Bradley Beal is. So, like, because I would have been too quick. It'd be like, yeah, he's ass. What else are we gonna talk about here? Like, you
yeah.
know. But with Anthony, there's more to say with Anthony Edwards. But like that, he was crashing out, bro. I know he said I'll be damned if I get swept. And he was standing on business with that. Like, bro was trying to just take out everybody, bro. It was funny, but
Yeah, I gotta give Bradley Beal some props though. Like at the press conference after the game, it's like, I'll be damned.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Being able to take a joke, that's a good trait to have.
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
honest. So, and then KD performed probably the best out of all two of them, because I know you don't want me to say all three of them, but all two of them. But in game one, I mean, this the man Ant Lee said, "Hold up." I'm not gonna say the word, but I could say the word if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna say the word. But Lily said, "Old ass." I mean, come on, to talk
old ass brother,
old ass naysayer, like to say that straight up to KD like that as you're dropping, you like 6 straight buckets on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. This is like a glazed session, but like, bro, this man Anthony Edwards, bro, he's becoming one of my favorite players. I won't lie, but
yeah,
he's, to answer the question, the best two guard in the league.
yeah. My favorite player is coming up a little bit after this, but we'll get into him shortly. Also, quick side tangent. Maxi Kleber's have like a series of a lifetime. And I've dogged on him so many times. So Maxi Kleber, here's your little second of love that you're gonna get just because he's been letting that thing fly from 3. Anyways, I have 3 more points I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
There's 2's a questions and 1's a statement. Anthony Edwards deserves so much hype, so I don't want this to be taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
We need to chill out a little bit.
Thank you.
Because I saw the most outrageous graphic. I think it was posted by the Timberwolves account themselves, where it was like, my dad had Michael Jordan, I had Kobe, and my kids will have Anthony Edwards. Calm down. Anthony Edwards maybe just cracked the top 10. Kobe and MJ were always top 1, 2, or 3, and they had like finals to go with it. Anthony Edwards swept the Phoenix Suns. Let's chill out a little bit. Anthony Edwards is so sick. Do not get me wrong. He is incredible.
Yeah.
But he swept one of the most overhyped teams of all time. That does not make you Michael Jordan. If he beats the Nuggets, maybe we can have these conversations. The Phoenix Suns does not put you in that conversation. Everton, you agree on that?
Yes, I'll say 2 points when it comes to that. One, let's be honest. That by year 4, MJ was probably the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Right? Let's be honest. By 88, MJ was not probably. He was the best player in the league. I don't care if he didn't have a ring or whatever. Michael Jordan was the best player in the league in 88. Kobe, by 2000, he wasn't the best player in the league because his freaking teammate was. But Kobe was clearly, I think, probably like top 5, top 10 easily by then, by 2000. But that's a bad argument because the talent now versus back then, all that, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I get why people are saying what they're saying because like he's showing off the aura. So the aura check is there. He's checking that box. The aura check is there. The shit talking is there. Like a lot of not everybody talks shit like Ant now, but MJ and Kobe used to talk a lot of shit. Ant's talking the same kind of shit, right? So that's there. And obviously he plays a lot like how, because the prototypical 6'6", kind of stronger, dumb athletic with like good footwork, shooting guard. He fits that prototype. So I see why people are saying it. Give it some more time. We ain't got to force it yet. I know why y'all want to do it because we're always looking for the next MJ Kobe dude. We thought it was gonna be D-Book, but is he too light skinned to be the next Kobe? But no, nonetheless, like I get why people are doing it, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. But I want to address something else.
What's up?
I seen this post yesterday where people are legitimately arguing current Ant or young D Wade.
Oh
Stop
my God.
Please
oh
stop.
My God.
If any, I'm about to do it.
They don't know how good D Wade was.
Wait. But no. D Wade, year 3, won a chip, averaging 35 in the finals. Please stop, okay? D Wade, look, I know because people always kind of drag D Wade and it was LeBron. Stop, bro. D Wade was legitimately probably the 3rd best player in the league for a while before LeBron came onto the Heat. Right? Am I wrong to say that?
You're not.
Right?
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Not ridiculous to say that. D Wade was an absolute monster. He's clearly the 3rd best shooting guard of all time. Let's not start getting nasty where we do this. Current Ant or prime D? No. Not even prime D Wade. Young D Wade. Not even young D Wade, bro. Like, stop. Slow down. Just let Ant be Ant and let's enjoy what we're seeing right now.
Let's not ruin one of the most exciting players in the league. But Everton, I said it a couple minutes ago where if Anthony Edwards were to defeat the Denver Nuggets, he can maybe enter this conversation. So this is my final question when it comes to Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
The Timberwolves are going against the Denver Nuggets next.
Yeah.
What does Anthony Edwards need to do to defeat the Denver Nuggets, the Thanos of the NBA?
Honestly, I don't even think it fully falls on him because I feel like he'll perform like how he's been performing. And I think that'll be enough for them. I think the biggest thing for them, I think the biggest thing for them, for them is sorry.
That's
Is
cool.
what do they do to stop the Nuggets?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I think they've proven that they can play on both. Like the Timberwolves have been fine. They clamped up the Suns. Yeah, that's yeah. They clamped up the Suns.
These Mavericks big men are doing some stuff today.
It is getting ugly right now, I know. But yeah, they proved that they could clamp up and they can still play on the other side of the ball. If they can do that against the Nuggets, look, the Lakers showed me some. Lakers showed me that the Nuggets are actually beatable, right? Like, not to say that I didn't know they were beatable, but like they're beatable. If the Lakers can give them the run for their money, who am I to say that?
I know this falls so bad.
Who am I to say that the Timberwolves aren't honestly better suited? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because they have legitimate bigs to throw at Jokic outside of just, hey guys, just put 80 on him. Or if I'm Darvin Ham, hey guys, put Rui Hachimura on him. They have literally, they could say, all right, Cat, you're not good defensively, but you're actually a bigger dude.
Yeah.
But obviously the bigger thing is Rudy Gobert. Granted, Jokic low-key be just straight up cooking Rudy, but whatever. You kind of have to live with Jokic doing Jokic things. But for Anthony Edwards specifically, I think he just has to play how he's been playing. And if the rest of the team can follow suit, this could be a series.
Yeah, I think to make it a series, you gotta get Jokic in foul trouble. And the Lakers, as Everton was saying, they were showing success when it came to attacking Jokic. That's why they're able to make games competitive. Because AD was giving Jokic some problems. Gobert's not going to do that, but I know Anthony Edwards can attack the rim, and he's not afraid to get a poster. I can't believe you didn't bring that up yet. Oh, he almost took, I know we talk about taking chains. He almost took KD's legacy. If KD did not move out of the way, his legacy was out the window. I'm so serious.
What legacy? No, I'm joking.
Chill. But Anthony Edwards, they got to get Jokic in some foul trouble because the only way to beat the Nuggets is when Jokic isn't on the court.
Yeah.
You get some foul trouble, I think the Timberwolves have their best chance. So that's why the Timberwolves, you attack Jokic. And Cat, he's low-key a great scorer, as you were saying. And Anthony Edwards, that's their game. Attack Jokic.
Yeah, you have to. Like, the Lakers saw success in doing that, and then they're like, nah, let's stop doing that. I'm not going to go to it on Darvin Ham, but, bro, you got to. You know what? We'll say that for a different time. But we'll move on.
In case you can't tell by this first hour, we might be doing a coaches segment later.
Ooh, I don't know if you can tell.
We have hinted it 6 times already, but we will move on, not to the coaches segment, because for the first time in 5-Out history, we have 2 player breakdowns, and we are breaking down the 2 most exciting players this postseason.
Low key. Because
Everton can't relate to this, but us short kings are back, and that is all due to Jalen fucking Brunson. Jalen Brunson has recorded the craziest statistic we've seen since 1993, ladies and gentlemen. 39 points, 13 assists. 47 points, 10 assists. 40 points, 10 assists. 41 points, 12 assists. He is the first player since 1993 Michael Jordan to score 39 points in 4 straight playoff games, and he did it with double-digit assists. What the fuck, Everton? What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
And you want to know what's crazy? The crazy part about all this is, and this is going to be the main talking point about this segment. I don't think Jalen Brunson's a star. He's short. Can we bury that awful take now? Because Jalen Brunson's a star.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to address? Okay.
Yeah, address the claims.
So obviously the claims where he's not a star or he's not, okay. I want to be specific here, though. The original real take was like guys like him, like shorter guys, outside of guys like Stephen Curry, haven't really seen crazy success, right? Like championship level success. Like maybe you have an AI who's made the finals, blah, blah, blah. But outside of like realistically in the last few years, like Steph can't really get too far with somebody who's under 6, right? But to people who say he's not a star, that's just false. Anybody who doesn't consider him a star, you're just lying to yourself. Like he's definitely a star. and he's getting close to that superstar range. Honestly, it depends on what you consider a superstar, but we're talking about a guy who's been performing in the playoffs the past 2 years as a number one option. Uh, oh my gosh, I need to stop looking at this damn fall.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy who's performed in the playoffs the past 2 years, and this season in regular season, I didn't even realize how good his numbers were, but 29 points per game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 48% from the field, 40% from three, 85% from the line. I did not realize this dude was averaging damn near 30 and 8, bro. Like, or and 7. It's insane. On good efficiency, too. Look, say what you want. He's getting close to that. I think he's definitely asserted himself as a top 15 player. Like, if you're saying he's not top 15, you might be lying to yourself, buddy. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. But top 10, I don't know. That's a bit of a harder one to discuss. But I think he's definitely becoming a top 15 player.
Yeah, I think he's super effing close. It's really going to come down to how he performs against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals because that's 100% happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not to spoil a future segment, but I think we have 2 sweeps coming in the East. You can sit out there
Yeah.
now. But Jalen Brunson is freaking incredible for what he can do for his size. Like he always knows when there's going to be someone right behind him, so he knows where to get the foul there. Like his positioning, you can make an argument it's the best in the league because he always knows what to do, and that's why he's been able to be so good for his size. English. And what's really been impressive for me with Jalen Brunson is not dogging on Julius Randle because he's missed half the season. And that's the main reason I'm saying this. Jalen Brunson has to be the guy. Like the Nuggets don't have
Yeah.
a second option, and so the fact that Knicks are still seeing the success, and it's all due to Jalen Brunson. Like he deserves his flowers. Can we please give it to him?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't want to dog on Julius Randle, but what did I say before the playoffs?
It was
Look,
said.
okay, you got to reason with me here. Do you think the Knicks would have won in 6 if Julius Randle was playing?
I thought Everton was talking bullshit earlier, but I think I'm starting to agree.
You see, like it's not even the dog on him, but in some of those games I'm watching, and I'm like, yo, if Julius Randle was on the court right now, he probably would have took a dumb ass shot right here. Like,
Isn't
like
that crazy that we're watching the most intense like first round series we've seen in a long time to Everton saying like, man, Julius Randle would do some dumb shit right now.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just watching them because okay, let me bring up the playoff numbers just to get that out the way with Jalen Brunson. He averaged 35, 4.5 boards, and 9 assists.
Oh
The
my
efficiency,
god.
43%, 30%, and 78. Let's be honest. If you don't know, this was a very defensively heavy series. Like compared to all the other series, this was like both teams are good defensively. So most of the guys are gonna struggle anyway. And I go like 35 and 9 is just crazy. Unless you're shooting legit like 20 or I don't know sub 40, I'm gonna have to say something. But 43 as a guard, I'm not gonna shit on you too much. Um, but yeah, I think he did the best he could. And look where it got him. They won in 6 in a series where Tyrese Maxey had a freaking 50 ball. Joel Embiid had a 50 ball. Like, he did what he could to lead his team as the lone star because it's really just Jalen Brunson and a bunch of really good role players. Like, if we're
Really
being
good.
honest.
See, thank you for saying that because like I've had some conversation with my friends back at home, and like, Joey, like OG Anunoby's a legit second option. I was like, okay, calm down. I love OG
No,
Anunoby. He cannot be your second scorer on a
no,
championship team. It just can't happen.
no.
And that's why if I'm a Knicks fan, like I know you want to win the finals. I still think they're going to the finals. I'm not backing up on that claim. But knowing you have Julius Randle and trade assets for a star just brings a smile to your face.
Yeah.
Because
And they have a lot of picks too.
the Knicks will, yeah, because they didn't trade any of them for OG.
Mm-hmm.
This team has a second star in the making, so New York's gonna be special. But what Jalen Brunson has done this season is proven that like you can still win with one guy. I'm so impressed with him because the big thing that I think is improving the regular season, and I feel kind of bogus to talk about this for Anthony Edwards as well. Jalen Brunson wasn't the greatest passer in the regular season, but Jalen Brunson has improved a lot this postseason, especially going against a really good defensive team in Philadelphia that was throwing like 6'7", 6'8" wings on him. He was still able to find the openings and still help out his teammates throughout the playoffs. Jalen Brunson's evolving to an all-around great point guard. The numbers are showing it. The gameplay is showing it. So I have a question for you, Everton.
Yeah.
Where does he rank amongst point guards in the NBA?
I think he's clearly
is he
top
clear
10.
four? Clearly top 10 point guard. I hope so.
Yeah, I'm just making sure we got that out the way.
Oh, Wow, it scared me. I was like, dude, if people don't think Jalen Brunson's a top 10 point guard in the league, they're Helen
You
Keller, bro.
never
Like,
know. There's some people. Well, that's probably rage bait or
mm,
clickbait if I were to see something like that. But I think,
I think he's clear 4. And he's going to be 3 after next season when Stephen Curry has a little bit of a dip.
oh, you're already okay. You should have saved that for a hot take.
No, I'm saving it for now. We're doing a Brunson episode.
You're right. That's
It's
true.
Luka, Shea, Curry, Brunson.
Yeah, I think that's the clear top 4. I don't think any other point guard. I mean, you could mention Trey Young, but I think he's past Trey Young.
He's
You
past
could
Trey
mention
Young.
Halliburton, but I think he's past Tyrese Halliburton.
I think I had
Um,
Halliburton originally in my ratings, but after the injury, Halliburton just had a slump after the injury.
yeah, and even in these playoffs, he was like, he had the game winner, but like, let's
Yeah.
call a spade a spade.
Uh-huh.
He was decent.
Yeah, and what New York's about to do to him is going to be scary.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie, his chain might get took.
Yeah, they
Well, it
might be
kind of
putting
already
him
got
on
took.
they might be putting him on a legal pornographic website for what they're
Yeah.
about to do to this man.
But yeah, outside of like those names, I can't think of other point guards that like you could even throw in
De'Aaron
the convo.
Fox.
Nah, Jalen Brunson's still better than De'Aaron Fox.
Dude, some people might say Jamal Murray, and that's gonna really tick me off.
The thing is, you can't even argue with really with Jamal Murray, but like it's Jalen Brunson's better than Jamal Murray.
Mhm.
But if I'm have a team, I pick Jamal just because we know what I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on how my team is set up.
Okay.
If I have a clear number one, Jamal's a really good second option. If I
Yeah.
need that number one, Jalen Brunson's probably my pick.
That I can understand that's a little more reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, Jalen Brunson, his pros, he can score at all 3 levels. He's starting to pass. Even when they put these like 6'8" defenders on them, he knows how to maneuver. Best
Mm-hmm.
positioning in the NBA. He knows when he can attack the rim. He knows when he needs to back up and shoot. I don't know how to describe the move of what it's called, but like when he speeds past his defender and he just like slows down a little bit, then gets like the foul.
Yeah.
I don't know what that move's called. I'm not sure if it's even named yet, but Jalen Brunson has specialized the move, and
D
people are
Wade.
definitely gonna the D
It's got to be
Wade.
I mean, I used to see D Wade do that all the time, where he'd like get in front of the defender and then like do this and like
Yeah,
do that. So maybe I don't know.
I mean they're both lightning quick, so that would make sense. So they mastered
Yeah.
that move.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a cone on defense like some of these other point guards in the league. He's not fantastic or nothing, but he's not useless.
Yeah.
There's not really a major flaw I see in Jalen Brunson's game right now.
Well, I got a question for you.
I should have an
This
answer.
came up in my head. Jalen Brunson or 2017 Isaiah Thomas?
Jalen Brunson, get that shit out of my face.
Oh, okay. That was quick. I thought you were gonna think about that one. Okay,
No,
okay.
that was Mickey Mouse. That was so
Oh,
Mickey Mouse.
wow.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed
Okay.
to root for our short Kings, but Isaiah Thomas, he had his 1 year run. I
Two
guess
year, 2 year, 2 year, 2
2
year, 2 year.
I guess peak, you can make an argument that Isaiah Thomas is more fun, but he wasn't having the success Jalen Brunson was having in the playoffs.
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. Especially defensively.
Yeah,
Ooh.
shiver me
Ooh.
timbers. But overall, we need to make it clear. We've hyped up 2 guys in the league, arguably our favorite players. Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson are them.
Yeah.
We've shown a lot of love, which we like to do on the podcast. But Everton, what do we do best in this podcast?
Hate.
We love to hate here, so it's time to move on to hate. Because today, when we were recording this podcast, Darvin Ham is no longer employed. So we got to figure out what other coaches are on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into that in a second because we need to talk about Darvin Ham first.
Yes, we do.
And I have a hot take.
Let's hear it.
Overhated. Now, I'm not trying to say he's like a top 5, top 10 coach in the league.
No.
But Rob Pelinka gave him an absolute like bucket of shit and said, all right, figure it out. So Darvin Ham just had to keep throwing shit on the wall. Because like, here's the thing, like as we address for the big man situation, if AD needed to sit down, like be honest with me. What coach is gonna figure out a lineup that's gonna work when Anthony Davis needs a little bit to sit? Nothing was going to work there. And there's some schemes where I watched towards the end of the season where I was like, yeah, Darvin Ham knows what he's talking about. Like when they guard the Pelicans at first, like it didn't work in the second game because Zion just said, screw it. I'm just not going to listen to you. But in the first game, like the 82nd game of the season, they had LeBron guarding him in his face or like gave him a little space for a mid range. And then if Zion somehow got past LeBron, he had Anthony Davis waiting for him in the paint. It's a genius strategy and it worked out. But then Zion just said, screw you, AD. I don't care you're a defensive player caliber of the year. I'm just going to dunk on you anyway. So it's whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then against the Nuggets, they were attacking Jokic and they're doing great. I'm like, oh yeah, these are great schemes. But when you have a roster of like shit, what are you supposed to do? So I think Darvin Ham was kind of scapegoated, and I don't think unless there's like major changes made this offseason, I still think we're gonna see the same Lakers team because there's no coach is figuring out this Lakers shithole.
So I will say this. I do think he gets a lot of the blame when there should. First off, as an NBA fan, we need to start looking at these front offices.
No, actually,
Like
it's
everybody
always
else
the
gets
coach.
blamed. It's always
Yeah.
the coach. Sometimes it'll be like that one player. Front offices just be getting no smoke sometimes. We need to start looking for the Suns. James Jones, we need to start looking at you, bro.
Yeah. How are
Start
we looking
looking
at
at
Frank
you.
Vogel before we're looking at James Jones?
That's what I'm saying. Look at that first. Because I'm going to address Frank Vogel later, but Darvin Ham, while I do agree Darvin Ham didn't get the best like makeup of a team because, okay, what are you going to do when your backcourt is going to be D'Lo and Austin Rivers? They're going to get cooked. Let's just be honest. They're going to get cooked by Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
What are you going to do
Then
when
Gabe
you're
Vincent off the bench, Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt,
that's what I'm going to say
Tarian
next,
Prince, Max Christie.
right? What are you going to do with a roster makeup like that? But I will say, some of his rotations are really questionable. Now, I get what you're saying, true, because what are you going to do with the roster? But I have to look at you as a coach and say, why do you have LeBron, Cam Reddish, Vanderbilt, Torian Prince, and Anthony Davis on the court right now? That shouldn't happen. As a coach,
It should not.
that shouldn't happen, right?
No.
So when you do stuff like that, I'm going to look at you like, brother, are you good? Like, you should never roll out a lineup like that, right? Cam Reddish should not be getting legit starter minutes. I know he didn't get any more after a while, but at one point, this man was a starter. Why?
Yeah.
Please do not make a mistake like that again. Torian Prince. Bro, does Torian Prince have dirt on Darvin Ham?
He definitely does.
Because how was he a starter? Was he started like the whole season?
Pretty much.
Like, that should not happen, right? Rui, I'm mad at Rui. Why is Rui guarding Jokic? Now, partially it's because
some of those are switches, but
they are. But other thing is, and here's why I say front office, there's a little bit of smoke. Why are you giving Darvin Ham only AD, Christian Wood, and Jackson Hayes?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that?
Like, because people are like, why is Rui guarding? Who else is gonna guard him? If AD can't play 48 minutes, like we said with Embiid, same thing with AD. You can't play the whole 48. So when AD goes on the bench, who are you gonna bring off the bench to guard Jokic? Like, there's nobody you could put in there that makes sense, But then his three guard, he has this weird fantasy with 3-guard lineups that I'm just like, you need to stop doing that. My last thing, why are guards guarding MPJ? That
can't happen.
That can't. You cannot have Austin Reeves or D'Lo guarding MPJ when the dude is 6'10" and he jumps freaking 9 feet in the air to shoot the ball. He's not seeing those contests, bro. Like, he's catching, he's shooting. When he's already up here and they're trying to contest, he literally does not see those dudes. He does not see them. So I think I feel like he gets a lot of smoke when the front office should get a little bit of smoke too for the construction of this roster. But I do want to say his rotations are a little bit questionable. We can agree on that.
Yes, we can. Because there's something that I want to make clear.
Yeah.
I don't think Darvin Ham is the perfect coach. Like, there are so many scenarios where I'm like, oh, the Lakers can really use a timeout here, and he just refuses to call it.
The pockets.
Yeah. Hands in the pockets. I'm not gonna lie, I don't call him on that too much because like that's how I low-key be walking to class. Like sometimes I feel like I'm on my Darvin Ham method, so like I don't want to give him too much crap for it when I also do it. But like I just think Darvin Ham deserves some hate, but I think he just gets a little too much. I think I feel like he's going to get another opportunity this offseason because there's gonna be a lot of coaching changes. Yeah. And I'm wishing him the best because I think Darvin Ham can be a solid coach. But I don't want to spend too much time on Darvin Ham. Because we're going to talk about 5 coaches and we're going to figure out, are they on the hot seat? Are they definitely fired? Is it 50-50 or are they safe?
Yeah. Okay. You want me to start?
Yeah. So Everton has 3 Western coaches and I will have 2 Eastern coaches. So Everton, let's start off.
I kept saying his name, so I might as well start with him first. Frank Vogel. Hot seat or not? So
before we get into this, how are we doing this? Are we doing like hot seat? Like, oh yeah, they're gonna get fired. Like, are we doing like a fired category, a hot seat category, a safe category? How are we doing this?
Yeah, I would say split it up into 3s. Like, he's for sure getting fired. He's in the hot seat. He's safe. I feel like those are, like you just said, I feel like those are the best way to break it up.
So if I were running the Suns, I would say he's
Mm,
safe, but
mhm.
realistically, he is on the hot seat. Let's be for real. Like, even though the team didn't make like sense scheme wise, when you have 3 stars and you get embarrassed like that, your seat's gonna be hot just off that alone. So
Yeah.
that's why I would say he's on the hot seat. But like, I really like his schemes. I think he's a good personality. It's just when you're also doesn't help when your locker room doesn't take you seriously. So like, and some people don't realize about the NBA. Some people do realize this. The coach is always going to be the first for the scapegoat. So
Hmm.
while the Suns may have just crapped the bed because of how their roster's built, why couldn't Frank Vogel figure it out? Because there's a reason that 26 other teams would want to be like this. So we just got to get a new coach.
Yeah.
So if we're being honest, I think Frank Vogel is on the hot seat. I just personally, in my opinion, do not think he should be.
All right. So while I agree with what you just said, and I think Frank Vogel's actually a good coach, and I think I'm gonna say he's a hot seat too. But here's my philosophy. This might be weird, so let me cook.
Go Cook.
If they're gonna have this kind of a roster, it makes no sense to have Frank Vogel as their coach because
Okay, he's
his
cooking.
whole
He's cooking.
right, his whole thing is defense, right? And the simple fact that this team ended up being a top 15 defense is already commendable, right?
That's all him.
Right? That's him. But if you're going to continue to have rosters like these, it makes no sense to have Frank Vogel be your coach because you're giving him defenders to elevate to being defensively, or be like above average, right? Whereas in a different situation where he's on a team that has a lot of defense, like if give or take the Timberwolves, if he was on the Timberwolves, they'd be the number one defense because he's a defensive coach and they have defenders, right?
Mhm.
And I think for the Suns specifically, if you're going to continue to roll out this roster, it makes no sense to have Frank Vogel as your coach because they don't have legitimately defenders to help his schemes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basically to play to his strengths. That's my point. Like I agree he's a good coach, and I think in most other situations you'd want him to be your coach. But for the Suns specific roster, it makes no sense to have him as your head coach.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Everton, I think you just swayed me. But me personally, I would want to rebuild to fit what he wants. But if the Suns are this committed on like there's 26 other teams, I would rather not want to have this roster. So I think
Mm,
Frank Vogel's going to be the scapegoat, odd man out.
yeah.
So he's definitely on the hot seat. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna go to the East,
All right.
and this is probably gonna be the most interesting one because this team's in a really weird scenario when it comes to coaches. We gotta talk about Doc Rivers. How could we not?
Yeah.
I know he only had a short time to work with, and the Bucks, if they were to fire him, would have 3 coaches that are going to be on payroll. What do the Bucks do? Where is Doc Rivers? Is his seat safe? Is it hot or is he gone?
Honestly, hot take, I think he's safe. The reason why I say this,
Mhm.
right? I've noticed in the past, no matter what Doc Rivers does wrong, these teams be giving him like 3 years before they say, all right, he's got to go, right?
Uh-huh.
Like literally every single time. With the Clippers, they watch this man. Now, I'll cut him some slack. Some of those times they choked. I don't know if I can fully blame him more than just, bro, what happened to Kawhi and PG in the bubble, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, but with Doc, a lot of these teams be giving Doc like multiple years to like figure it out. And I feel like in their situation, it's like you can't just keep changing voices in the locker room. You start off with Andrew Griffin. He was doing pretty good, but whatever. You lose him. All right, you got Doc Rivers to replace him. You can't just keep, oh, we'll just recycle.
Yeah.
Again, for people who don't know, this is not 2K where you could just fire him. We'll get a new coach. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Um, so yeah, I think he's safe from the fact that I feel like they won't fire him because I've never teams just give him longer than most of like some coaches get 1 year and it's like Doc Rivers, it's like you want to ship with the Celtics, so I feel like we should give you 2 more years.
Yeah.
Like, so the smart idea would be to one consider what candidates are available before you just quick trigger fire him. Because if there's nobody out there that you feel like could really move the needle for you, then what's the point in adding another coach to your payroll? Right.
Mhm.
So I feel like they got to consider that first and then evaluate. But realistically, I think he's safe because they're not gonna fire him already.
Yeah. So I do have him on the hot seat.
Mhm.
I think they're gonna be on their Watford method where it's like, yeah, well, let's have 14 coaches in like 4 years, call it a day.
Yeah.
So it's just like The reason why I think he could be safe is just like you can play the blame the injuries,
Mhm.
but it's just with my own eyes, I've just saw how much worse this team got with Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of a short game, like sample size of like 40 games, but you just gotta watch this 40 games and be like, this just is not the answer.
Mm-mm.
And as we talked about earlier, the Bucks are probably have no choice but to run this team back. You gotta make some sort of change. And if you're not gonna move on from players, I feel like that has to be the coach. And Doc Rivers is so bad, man. It's so bad.
Like I said, I agree. If I were them, I would
Mhm.
look to make a change. But I'm thinking realistically, these teams always give him multiple years. They literally always let him get all like at least 2 or 3 years with the roster
He
before they
can't keep
just.
getting away with
But
this.
literally, he can't. Like I don't know how he keeps doing it, but they literally always give this man multiple years. So that's why I think he's safe. But realistically, yeah, he should be on the hot seat. What
So
the
do you
hell?
think he gives like really good like back massages? Like, what do you think his secret is?
Hey,
And
we
dude,
saw
his
Drake.
his gift baskets must be nuts.
Something he got something up his sleeve that's just keep giving him multiple chances, but I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is, man.
Well, what I want to know is what's your next coach, Everton?
My next coach is Chauncey Billups,
This one's so tough, man.
right?
Because
But can I
it's
actually,
similar to the Doc Rivers issue.
yeah, actually, I'm gonna say something for my last coach, so I'll wait actually. But go ahead. What's your Chauncey? What do you think about Chauncey Billups?
Oh, I may have just committed accidental racism. I mixed up my coaches. I thought you meant Monty Williams. My fault. Chauncey Billups, you got to go.
Okay.
That Portland team was a joke. Like I
Mhm.
know they didn't have the best roster build of all time, but I was talking about the Heat having no schemes. Portland had nothing offensively. They had nothing defense. They just played scrimmage for 82 games, and Chauncey Billups did nothing about that. His rotations were whack with the guards. He didn't know how he wanted to do any rotation. How we talking about Darvin Hams? If the Portland Trailblazers weren't so irrelevant, Chauncey Billups would be getting the Darvin Hams. That team was awful, and like I don't even know how much more. Like Everton, can you give me a pro for what Chauncey Billups did this season?
He won a championship in 2004.
We're not getting on the '07 Celtics method right now. We are not doing this.
No, honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah,
Like,
because not all players deserve to be a coach. JJ Redick.
ooh, yo, well, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. So it's not working. Some coaches, like some great players, aren't always great coaches.
Let
Steven
me say this now.
Gerrard, Frank
Actually,
Lampard. What's up?
let
What's
me
up?
say this. And I was talking to Alex and Kaysen about this earlier. It's not a
Nightmare blunt rotation.
it's it's I love those guys. It's not a perfect science. Just because you were a good NBA player does not mean you're a good coach,
Exactly.
right? Steve Nash, phenomenal NBA player,
Mm.
one of the better NBA minds as a head coach. Come on, right?
Jason Kidd.
And he's not even going to be on this list. I'm
Which is
sorry,
crazy.
but he's not going to be right. But it's never that perfect. And JJ Redick, I think it'll be the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
sure, he's shown. Oh, I have a great basketball mind. Yeah, we can tell, bro. We see it.
Mm.
But one, he gives off this vibe that I feel like if NBA, if other like the players he's coaching don't get it fully, he's gonna be mad as hell.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like pissed all the time about it.
Mm.
And as a coach, you gotta reason with your guys, right? That's one. Two, it ain't always, bro, just because you can, flex your basketball knowledge 24/7, that doesn't mean you'd be a phenomenal coach. Like
Mm.
that's just it's never that perfect. If you've noticed, the best coaches are always either some rando who didn't play basketball, not rando, but like you know what I'm saying, like he didn't
Yeah.
hoop, or he was just a bad player. Like
Yeah.
Phil Jackson, he was
Mhm.
bad in the league.
Yeah.
One of the greatest coaches ever, if not the, right?
Mhm.
Did Greg Popovich hoop?
Barely.
Right? Greatest coach of all time, arguably, right?
Yes.
Eric Spoelstra
Did not hoop.
did not hoop. Video guy, one of the greatest coaches ever,
Uh,
right? Like a lot of the greatest coaches
Michael
ever,
Stauffer.
my Jacob Underwood. But no, like really though, like a lot of the great coaches, they weren't like phenomenal basketball players, but they're just really good at coaching. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And that's a skill. Like being good, just because you know a lot about basketball doesn't mean you're going to be a great coach. Because there's a skill in coaching.
Yeah.
So all in all, Chauncey Billups, you had a great career, bro. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Because you said hot seat or fired. You said fired, right?
I just said fire, not even hot seat.
And I agree as well. I get it. The Blazers weren't even going to be good. Like realistically, weren't going to be good this year, anyways.
Yeah,
But
but this bad?
that, like, I didn't expect them to have a worse record than the Spurs. Like, I thought the Spurs were clear cut going to be the 15th seed, and this Blazers found a way to be worse than them, right?
Mm.
And I think, he hasn't proven anything for me to feel like he's going to be a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't shown anywhere I'm like, well, you know what? Give him some time. No, this ain't Arsenal where I got to trust the process and it'll eventually pay off with the coach. No, brother, let it go. Get a new coach, get a new voice. Your team on paper isn't like garbage. Like, you look at the names, you got some solid players, unless you make some moves, but whatever.
Yeah,
You got some solid players. Let it go. Chauncey
I
Billups is
agree.
not the guy for the job. Unless I get proven wrong and bro ends up being whatever, but he's not the guy for the job. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Like a guy with a receding hairline was still hoping for the best. Let it go. It's done.
It's done, bro.
Speaking of potentially letting it go, I think as a Bulls fan, it was obvious I was going to pull this one out.
Yeah, I already saw it coming.
Let's talk Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan, he's been a Bulls coach for 4 years. 39 of 43, no playoffs. 40 and 42, no playoffs. 46-36, round one exit in 5 games, and 31 and 41. Do I need to convince you that Billy Donovan should be fired?
No, you
Do you have
literally
a,
don't.
do you have an argument for why he should be? No, Everton. Argue this bullshit take for me real quick.
Damn it. Why did you do this? Okay.
Why should the Bulls keep Billy Donovan Everton? I heard you talking about that the other day.
Okay. The Bulls should keep Billy Donovan because I'm an OKC Thunder fan and he used to coach my team too.
Dude,
No,
he
okay.
won back-to-back national championships with Florida.
With Florida. Exactly. No, but no, realistically, if they were gonna keep him, they're just trying to do the continuity thing. That's literally the only reason why you keep Billy Donovan, because they want to keep the continuity thing. But for the love of God, Bulls, stop with it. You need to change up, do a whole revamp.
Literally trade everybody. And my thing
Except
is
Kobe
like,
White.
except Kobe White, except Io.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, him too.
If you're gonna do continuity with the players, you have to at least change the coaching. Because Billy Donovan, like, dude, we talk about Darvin Ham putting his hands in his pockets. If I watch that fucker chew a piece of gum one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Dude, he be chomping on the sidelines and no one says a thing. It's ridiculous. And it's just no schemes. It's literally just, all right, DeMar, just do what you need to do in the fourth quarter. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose.
Yeah,
Refuses
literally.
to call out, dude. Like Zach LaVine walked on Billy Donovan and literally mildly walked on him. It was embarrassing. He has no control of the locker room. He has no schemes. He's just there to brown nose and kiss ass. So maybe he's a good ass kisser. Maybe that's why he would be back. Like AK's like, you know what? You're gonna tell me, tell me the Bulls have a championship opportunity, Billy.
That's crazy.
That's why AK is gonna be. Or that's why Billy's gonna be back.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just
If
there
they're
should not be a
smart,
single argument that he.
if they're smart, fire him. You kind of have to do that. But I hate to say it to you, Joey. Are they always smart?
Hell no. Hell
Unfortunately.
no.
Unfortunately. I mean, look, they had Jim Boylan as a coach at one point. My fault.
Don't give me flashbacks right now.
But no, realistically, to answer the question, no, you got to get rid of Billy Donovan. We've already done a Bulls breakdown. If you want to check it out, it was in a past episode.
I
Sam
may have
Cassell?
vented a little bit.
Sam Cassell?
What's up?
Sam Cassell?
Dude,
I don't know.
chill.
My fault.
Dude, I would be so hyped. But yeah, hopefully Billy Donovan's out of here. Next coach. We don't need to spend too much time on that loser.
Okay. For my last coach, and I wanna say a whole thing so you understand why I picked him and not maybe somebody else. It's Steve Kerr, by the way, but I'm gonna tell you a whole list on why I didn't pick other coaches. One, I already said the Blazers, so got that out the way. Billups is on here. Popovich is not getting fired. No matter what, the Spurs do not have
0 for 82 and he's still running it back.
They're not firing that man. He leaves on his own accord. Let's just get that out the way. Who's the 13th seed? The Grizzlies. Taylor Jenkins, his job is safe because honestly,
he still made the most out of what he had.
He did. Like other seasons, he's made them a 50-win team. This year, he had 8 players. Like, no, I'm not going to blame him for how the season went. He's shown in the past that he's a good coach. He's safe, right? The Jazz coach, Will Hardy. I think he's the youngest coach in the league. I think there's not much you could say wrong with him.
We
But
also
honestly,
we ain't watched the Utah Jazz.
that's what I was gonna say.
We don't
Honestly,
know if he should be fired.
I didn't pick him because I'm like, I honestly don't care. Like, what were we gonna sit here and talk about when it comes to Will Hardy on the Jazz, bro?
Nothing.
Nothing. So I'm like, we'll just not talk about him anyways.
Yeah.
Ime Udoka, you're safe.
That
You are
team's
safe.
cooking. Yeah.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Trust, you're safe. I just mentioned Steve Kerr. He's the pick, but we'll get to that. Mike Brown of the Kings. I think he's relatively safe. Like,
Yeah.
he brought the Kings back to a playoff team. He made them a playoff team this year. I think if the roster approves, he'll help them be, better. I think the only thing I'll say is, how did you go from the best offense to,
Yeah.
But I don't think he's in like a hot seat yet. I think it's too early to say he's in a hot seat because
I
they
would
still
agree.
were legitimately good this year,
Mhm.
right? The Pelicans. I think Willie Green has done a great job for
Willie
the
Green's
hands
done
he's been
I
dealt.
thought he was a coach of the year contender at one point.
Me too, right? I think he's done a phenomenal job. He's safe, completely safe. Darvin Ham got fired, so no point in talking about him.
Uh-huh.
Frank Vogel, we mentioned him earlier already, so whatever. Jason Kidd, he's safe. I know
It pisses me off so much.
but at the end of the day, the man is safe. Like,
I
he's
almost
safe.
want the Clippers to come back just for that reason.
He's safe. At the end of the day, he's safe. And then Tyronn Lue, he's safe as well. Like, for what he's done for the Clippers, no matter what the situation is, he's always found a way for them to be like at least somewhat decent, no matter how many games his dudes play.
Yeah. He's an
He's
incredible
safe.
coach.
If he's arguably top 3, right?
Yeah.
He's safe as well. So there's no point in talking about Tyronn. I know people, he might be the next Lakers coach. Shut up. It's not happening. Stop.
Take your JJ Redick, loser.
Like, like, no. But he's safe. And then the top 3 coaches, you think they're gonna fire Mark Malone? Get out of here. They're
Yeah.
not firing that man. Chris Finch, your job is safe. You're good. Mark Dangle, your job is safe. You're good.
Yeah.
So when I looked at all of those things, I'm like, it gotta be Steve Kerr, right?
Mhm.
So all in all,
and
Steve
we're not
Kerr.
gonna talk about like the Warriors not having the most underwhelming season of the year.
Mhm.
Always expected to be a Western Conference final contender, and they couldn't even make the play in, or like just lost first round of the play in. And what didn't go right for the Warriors what went right for the Warriors this season? Your young guys weren't getting minutes. Klay Thompson was screwing you over. Andrew Wiggins was screwing you over. Like, everything that could have went wrong went wrong. How much of blame do you put on Steve Kerr?
I put a decent, because okay, look, you can't control Draymond being crash out player of the year, right? You can't control Klay putting up tour dates, sure. You can't control Andrew Wiggins going through what he's going through. I'm not going to dog on him. But what you can control is giving players minutes. As a head coach, you are the one that makes the rotation.
Yes.
Why did it take that long for Kuminga to start getting minutes? Because literally when he got the minutes, he started playing way better. Like, he was playing really good. Why did it take that long? Why every time Moses Moody looks good, you're like, "He looks good. Get him out the game. Stop doing that." And why, like, all of the young players they had when they got legitimate minutes were actually playing up to par. Why did it take that long for you to realize that? And why were you still so pushy about it? Give them minutes. Why is it that hard?
The power of friendship when the Warriors won those 2 rings, bro, was special, man.
It, like, come on, spare me. Like, why are these guys? Look, I get it. Klay's your guy, bro. You need to start taking minutes. I mean, I know he benched him at one point, but that didn't stay long.
Yeah.
He got started back. He's got a starter job right away. Like, and a guy like Pods, who I think has been one of the most steady rookies this season, started putting his minutes down. Like, all in all, Steve Kerr, you got to stop being so weird with your young players. Give them minutes before they say, I'm getting, because Kuminga basically threatened to get out of there, basically. Like, he was like, yo, if you don't start playing me, bro, get me out of here, bro. Like, simple as that. So, I don't know if those Warriors have the balls to fire Steve Kerr.
That's literally what I was just about to ask. Like, we talk about Greg Popovich. Like, I know Popovich is higher up on the rankings than Kerr. Was it kind of where Steve Kerr gets to leave on his terms? Or, like, do the Warriors be like, yeah, we can't put up with this? Because Stephen Curry wants to win at any way possible. Is that way getting rid of Kerr is a seat hot?
And that's the part. That's the reason why I wasn't sure how I felt about. But like, I just mapped out with every other coach. It's kind of like, like, they're all pretty much safe outside of like the guys I have on this list, or the dude who literally got fired today.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Steve Kerr, he's kind of the only other person I was like, worth this like literally discussing because realistically he should be on the hot seat. But
Mhm.
are the Warriors gonna do that? No. The hell?
No.
They're gonna keep him.
Yeah, I feel the same
But
exact way.
yeah. So I don't know. It's a tough one, but he's safe.
There's some coaches that should be on the hot seat, but they just might avoid it just because politics.
Or not politics, literally politics.
It's
Counter
not
politics.
aura. You got me fucked up. You think
I
Steve Kerr
almost
and
said
Doc
aura.
Rivers got
Yeah,
some aura?
I did almost say aura. I apologize. Yeah, I almost said aura. Oh my
These
goodness,
kids
that would
just
have
saying anything these days.
been a. Oh man, yeah, I almost said aura. Hey, no, that's a tangent. I won't say that, but yeah,
So, Everton,
politics.
do we want to figure out if we're kids or old heads?
Let's figure it out. Come on.
So we're gonna move on to our next segment, our final one of the day, and it's playoff season.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Everton came up with a fun idea. What team is better, this current playoff team or a historic version of that team that had like
Mm-hmm.
some sort of playoff success?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't explain it well enough, but it's gonna make more sense. So pretty much, where's so Everton, I should clear this up with you. Are we saying what team's better or what team we think would win?
I went with what team I think would win in this series.
Okay, perfect. So
Okay.
I have 3 Eastern teams. Everton has 2 Western teams, and we're gonna figure out which team would win in a game or series.
Yeah. Series.
Okay, let's have some
Why
fun.
not?
We're playing some playoff basketball. We're getting on the 2K method.
All right. Come on.
So if it didn't make sense, you'll get it after this first example. Because Everton, which team would win in a series? The 2023-2024 Knicks or the 2012-2013 Knicks? Let me break.
Okay.
I didn't have to break it down rosters. You had to figure out that easily.
Oh, yeah, 2012, 2013. That's when they lost to the Pacers, right?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
6, and then they beat the Celtics in 6.
Okay. Yeah.
For
I
our
would.
listeners, sorry,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
I'm gonna break it down for our
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah, you should. You should.
Let them make their input first.
Yeah, you should do that. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
The current Knicks team is 7th offensive rating, 10th defensive rating. I think you guys know their roster by now with Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, OG, Hartenstein, Randall, and Healthy can be the starting power forward wherever you want. Then Miles McBride, Robinson, and Precious Achua.
Yeah.
The 12-13 Knicks were the number 2 seed as well with a record of 53-29, 3rd offensive rating, 18th defensive rating. Raymond Felton, J.R. Smith, Steve Novak for a majority of the season. All right, we're gonna assume Amari Stoudemire's healthy in this situation because Steve Novak's not starting for me. Raymond
That
Felton,
was a
J.R.
big.
Smith, Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd, Iman Shumpert, Steve Novak, Pablo Pergoni. I'm glad each team has an
Prigioni.
Italian. Prigioni, I
Pablo
can't pronounce, but
Prigioni.
I'm glad each team has an Italian to represent.
Okay. So now that you broke it down, I will say this. I think the current Knicks team would win. Here's why.
How many games?
6.
Okay.
So here's why. I like Carmelo, but he's never really been a great playoff performer. And the way that this Knicks team is constructed defensively, yo, OG might have Melo in hell, bro. Now, I'm not gonna say, it's a perfect 1-to-1, but when you can have OG on Melo and then Mitch Robinson in the paint, Josh Hart, you know what I'm saying?
And to bounce off that, we saw when the 76ers team had MVP and Joel Embiid and a second star with Tyrese Maxey. This team has Melo and then J.R. Smith, Amari Stoudemire, Raymond Felton, the 6'2", 250 point guard. Let's be serious.
Yeah. So I think the roster construction favors this year's Knicks. And then who's guarding Jalen Brunson?
Raymond Felton?
Yeah. Okay.
I dare Jalen Brunson to post up Raymond Felton's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, yeah, he might not be able to move him.
He might
not be able to move him.
The Jalen
but
Brunson D Wade move we were talking about would actually like give Raymond Felton like brain contusion. Like that would actually kill him off.
Exactly. So
his slow ass not keeping up with that.
He's not keeping up with that at all.
Yeah.
And then bench wise, I think J.R. Smith would be coming off the bench because he was the 6th man of the year that year, if I'm not mistaken.
When I went on their basketball reference, he had the most starting minutes for a shooting guard.
What?
He had most
weird.
minutes. He had most minutes played.
Oh, most minutes played. Oh, okay, yeah. But he won 6th man of the year in 2013.
That's cheating.
Yeah, I don't know how they did play that off, but he did come off the bench. But when I look at the bench, outside of JR, I mean,
Dude, old man Jason Kidd's not moving the needle for you.
oh my goodness. 40-year-old J Kidd is not. I mean, he was okay. He was cool, but come
Yeah.
on, bro. Compared to like having a bench with Bogdan or Bojan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bojan. Alec, I don't know why I said his name. Miles McBride,
He's
Miles
been
McBride
hooping.
is low-key
Dude,
nice,
he's
bro.
been fire.
And then Hardenstein. I feel like I'm missing another person. But all in all, I think the Knicks' current bench is better. All in all, bro, I got current Knicks in 6, bro. I think they're just
Mhm.
like their roster is way better, like constructed than that old Knicks team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is a straight up sweep. I'm taking the
Oh, you
current
got
Knicks.
sweep. Wow.
Because the 76ers were able to make this game competitive because like they had a really good defense while having an MVP caliber and one
That's
of the best
true.
second options
Well,
in the league.
Tyson Chandler was a really good defender.
18th defensive rating compared to what the Sixers were doing with Embiid and all. Like
Actually, no, it
you,
was
you
the
tell me
next year.
you tell me Steve
No,
Novak's gonna help with these switches and all
no.
that. Like JR, no. The 76ers were just better constructed. I don't think this Knicks team's given the current Knicks team any problems.
Yeah, maybe I was a little generous, which was ironic because when we were in our playoff prediction, I wasn't so generous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all in all, we agree that the current Knicks would win. But
Absolutely.
you have it as a dog, like you just dog
Mhm.
them. But
Yeah.
hey, we'll never know, obviously.
Uh-huh. So
Okay,
Everton, what's gonna be the first Western matchup we look at?
the first Western matchup. I like this one because this is one people been discussing this a lot, and based on what we just seen, it would be fun to I want to hear what you got to say.
Mhm.
2023-2024 Denver Nuggets versus the 2020 Bubble Lakers.
Ooh. Ooh. So let's see. You get LeBron, you get AD, you get JaVale McGee, you get Dwight Howard, you get Rondo.
Russo,
Caruso was moving needles.
Danny
Um,
Green, KCP, Kuzma.
you got some nugget pieces on
You
there.
do, yeah.
And dude, that Dwight Howard was low key the method for Jokic, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like the Lakers bench a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I was like I would say the final peak season you get a LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
AD was great,
Mm-hmm.
but there wasn't a crowd. They didn't have to play in that Denver Nuggets amplitude, with how the mountains work.
No, okay. That's true.
Um,
That's true. That's a
that's a
fair
good
point.
one. Hmm. It's just that LeBron's different, man. Like
Yep.
I love Jokic, but that's just a LeBron you can't. Especially that's probably the best passing LeBron we've ever seen as well.
Mm-hmm.
80's 3-point shot hasn't fallen off just yet.
That mid-range jumper was nasty then too.
Oh, but this Nuggets team's just so good, man.
My bad. I didn't mean to stump you, bro.
I'm gonna take current Nuggets in 7. I mean,
Ooh.
I like the stars on both teams, but when it comes to role players, I'm just trusting Michael Porter Jr. more. I'm trusting Aaron Gordon more over a Kuzma, and then that because Denver Nugget KCP is better than LA Laker KCP as
Mm.
well. So when it just comes down to the tiny things, I just trust the Denver Nuggets role players a little bit more. But that's a great series because, dude, that Dwight was low key the method for Jokic, and that's a crazy
Mm.
sentence to think about in 2024.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna have to low key disagree. I take the Lakers, but it
Ooh.
would be like 7. So it's not like it's like I think the Lakers would just dog them. Here's my reasons. Like you said with Dwight, I think Dwight and JaVale McGee were like the two best guys to have next to AD playing Jokic. Like that was the
Yeah.
way you do it, right? Having two centers with AD, right?
Mm.
And then, like you mentioned, that was probably the last. Oh, why do they keep showing this? The last, like peak LeBron, where best passing LeBron, his 3-point shot was still pretty solid.
Yeah.
His athleticism was still like, whoa, you're still getting up like this, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Like that was like a really good LeBron. Like we're talking about like damn near best player in the league still, LeBron. Like I'd say Giannis was probably the best player in the league at this point, but like he was definitely probably number 2,
Mm.
right? We're talking about that level LeBron. That was probably give or take the best AD, depending on how you feel about this year's AD.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way the role players are, because here's the other thing, right? Here's what I consider this year, right? The Lakers really just lost because they can't keep leads. But every game they could have won. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
right? They could have won damn near every game.
Uh,
But because of either one coaching or two role players, they crashed out every time. When I look at that Lakers team, we're talking about better coaching because Frank Vogel is the coach. So I
yeah.
don't think he'll crap the bed like Darvin Ham. No hate. No hate. I'll hate. Yeah, I'll hate. And then the role players. Alex Caruso was really consistent on both ends. Like, I'm not gonna say he's gonna lock up Jamal Murray, but how many other guards can you really feel comfortable putting on Jamal Murray, right?
Exactly.
And then
I don't think
two,
Caruso was all that offensively. Like, I think he took a massive leap in the
no,
Bulls on the offensive side of the ball.
yeah. He got better on the Bulls, but I think for what it's worth, defensively, that's where you got.
So I think he said both sides.
Oh, did I say both? I might have said both sides. If I did, I apologize. And then Danny Green. I know he's a bit of a meme. At the end of the day, he was still good on both ends of the ball. At least defensively, he's going to play some defense. His shooting might be a little inconsistent, but he's going to play some defense. KCP. Again, I'd take probably current KCP over that KCP, but he was again a 3-and-D guy, right? You had Kyle Kuzma, who you never know what you're gonna get Kyle Kuzma, but if he's making the shots, cool. If he's not, he's kind of just whatever. And then, like I said, with the two bigs, LeBron, all that, I just feel like in the coaching, I feel like all the things that went wrong for the Lakers this year, and they were close with the Nuggets, they're way better at then, and the roster construction is better, and a lot of their flaws are their strengths. So I take the Lakers.
A question I have with that is like, yeah, you can put Caruso on Murray, you can get these double teams on Jokic. Who on that team is defending a 6'10" Michael Porter Jr., who's playing the best basketball we've ever seen from him? No public school Michael Porter Jr.
So that's the only thing I wasn't that like I wasn't that confident in was the MPJ thing, right? Like I feel like they could have Aaron Gordon wouldn't be averaging freaking 15 and 12 or whatever. Like I don't see that happening with Dwight and JaVale down there with AD on the 4.
Yeah.
But with MPJ, I was kind of like, he was the only one I was looking at like, what can you really like who unless you just say F it, put LeBron on him, but LeBron shouldn't be having to guard MPJ. Let's be honest. So that's a good question. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Unless I'm literally blanking on another person. Your best bet is. I don't think he was on that team. He wasn't on that team.
Yeah, I thought he was because that's where he got his only chip.
No,
he got shit with the Raptors. Yeah. My fault.
Unless you want to be ballsy and put KCP on him or something, but again, the height difference is just not favorable.
That's collard greens. That's caviar.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese.
He's a tough one, but I'm gonna still stand by the Lakers. I think the Lakers will win that.
And then I really love Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon in that series. That's why I think role players are so pivotal in that one. It's definitely 7 games. It's definitely
yeah. Definitely.
So I'm gonna move on to my second series.
Go ahead.
I try to keep this one with the current team versus the past same version of that team. So you'll see a lot of mixed match.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The 2023-2024 Celtics versus the 07-08 Celtics. Because this team has the finals or bust narrative. So let's look at the last time the Celtics won the chip. That Celtics team, they were 10th offensive rating, number 1 defensive rating. This current team's 2nd offensive rating, 5th defensive rating. Both number 1 seeds. The 07-08 team won 66 games compared to the current Celtics 64. But in the playoffs, it wasn't super easy. Hawks in 7, Cavs in 7, Pistons in 6, Lakers in 6. But just the starting 4 of having Rondo, Allen, Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. And then they had some guy at center.
Some bum.
Yeah, they had some random. Kristaps Porzingis has a smile on his face. Kendrick Perkins.
Man. Yeah, free eats.
And then Eddie House, Tony Allen, Big Baby Davis.
Oh my God.
This team had memes at center.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe the method's just having meme Celtics. Because you look at the bubble Lakers, they had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. That's just memes.
Damn.
Was DeMarcus Cousins on that one?
He was on the team, then they cut him.
Oh, got you.
Before he got to even play.
I would say, that's just meme center galore.
Yeah, low key. Damn.
Yeah, so what team you taking in that series?
You know what's funny?
What's up?
These teams literally have the same issues.
Isn't that nut? Okay, I gave the 07-08 Celtics team 1 because I know the current Celtics teams have a point guard, but no one's moving the ball like Rondo is on that team.
No, hell no.
I think that's a flaw for this current Celtics teams. Like, yeah, they
Yeah.
got 2 really good guards, but
Mm.
none of them are like a true passing point guard.
No, I agree with that. No, especially Rondo level.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Especially playoff Rondo. Oh my God. But
different animal.
the problem that both these teams have, they play with their food. Now, like you just said with the 08 Celtics, what, 7 with the Hawks?
Yeah.
And then who was after?
Cavs in 7.
Cavs in 7. And then in the conference finals, was it
Pistons.
Pistons in 6?
Yeah.
And then Lakers in 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Lakers, I'm not gonna throw any shade at because it was freaking Kobe and Powell. So I'm not gonna. That was gonna go 6 or 7 anyways. The Pistons, that was the Pistons on like their last leg.
Yeah.
And how did you still go? Whatever. The Cavs, LeBron, I respect it. Whatever, it's LeBron. But the Hawks,
Yeah.
why did you go 7 games with the Hawks? Like, come on. So they have the same issue with this whole playing with their food thing. But when you look at like top to bottom, it's kind of the same thing where it's like you have 4 guys, and then the rest of the team. Kendrick Perkins. Okay, let me stop with the whole bum thing. He was legitimately a decent center at this point in time.
Yeah.
This is
I like to hate.
Me too. Kendrick. I don't really like Kendrick Perkins, so I'm not mad at it. But if I'm being completely transparent, he was legitimately still a good center at this point in time, defensively especially. Oh my. Sorry.
That's all good.
Kendrick Perkins was still legitimately a good defensive center. And then the bench is like, yeah, you see why I did this? Whatchamacallit, just put him in the basket. Oh my goodness. And then the bench is like Tony Allen, again, a really good defensive player to have. Like,
I love Tony Allen.
Me too, man. First team all defense. Eddie House, come in, make a few shots, cool. And then who else? I'm blanking.
James Posey and Big Baby Davis.
Okay, never mind. But like you look at the Celtics bench, it's kind of like, okay, Peyton Pritchard, Luke Cornett,
Sam Hauser,
who make a few threes.
Yeah, like Horford though.
Oh, Horford, that is true. Fossil Horford at that.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie. As much hate as this 08 team gets, I think I might still go 08 because no one's moving the ball like Rondo.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you have 2 elite defenders like Drew and Derek White. Rondo's finding the opening.
He's finding them. Ray Allen, yo. I know he's not Curry, but who's stopping Ray Allen from knocking down all them threes, right? Paul Pierce, he gets a lot of hate. He was a dog, bro. Like,
I'll still hate. I don't care. Paul Pierce is a loser.
He says some crazy things, and I don't agree with most of what he says. Yeah. He was a dog, though.
Yeah,
he was a dog.
He was a bucket.
He was a bucket. And then KG was a dog. This is depoy KG at that.
Yeah.
This is pre injury KG. This is defensive player of the year KG.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be probably the best defensive player on the floor.
And he still give you a bucket when you need.
He was damn near he was the best player on that team, by the way. Yeah. Like, no argument. I know Paul Pierce won Finals MVP. KG was the best player on that team. Yeah. And then Kendrick Perkins in the middle. I'm going 08 Celtics, man.
How many games?
Damn. 6. Oh, damn. I didn't even see your hand. 6.
I'm also going 07, 08 Celtics in 6. I think they have enough where you can space the court where like the defense you're going to give because I know this current Celtics team is insane defensively, but you have enough spacing things where you can make it work. So Rounds can find the opening. You can have Allen on the line. Pierce can score wherever he wants. And KG's just going to put his shoulder in a Tatum or Porzingis and feast on it.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then this current, the 07, 08 Celtics team is just the #1 defensive team ever. So they're going to give this team problems as well. Mm-hmm. I just trust the offensive spacing of the other team more because Jason Tatum, he's not really he's not attacking the rim. Ray Allen and Paul Pierce defending the perimeter though doesn't really move the needle for me.
They weren't terrible defenders though.
Yeah, because here's the thing: like Jason Tatum refuses to like attack the rim, and now he's got KG and Perkins in the rim. He's not going there at all.
No, he's not. He's gonna just take a bunch of jumpers, and that's usually when the Celtics end up losing games. No,
I gotta go the 07, 08 Celtics in 6.
And that was my other point. I don't trust this Celtics team enough to one. this is an arbitrary thing. Who's a dog on that team? Like, who's an actual dog?
On this current team,
No, on this current team,
Derek White.
he's a dog. You're right. But outside of him,
There's no dogs.
no dogs. And then
Maybe some of those like white little ugly crusty dogs that like all the white women have.
exactly, that's the only. That was really specific. Those are the only dogs they have. JT, look, respect you as a player. He might crumble under pressure.
Mhm.
Jalen
Especially that
Brown,
shit talking they're gonna be getting too.
yeah, KG
Yeah.
might say something crazy to Tatum, and then he's
Yeah.
probably gonna get in his head, right?
He's just gonna bring out Kobe one time.
He could be like, "Hey, you text him today? You text him?"
Good morning, Boo. I miss you.
Like he might say something crazy to JT, and JT might
Yeah.
be thinking about that the rest of the week. So I just feel like the OA Celtics are more equipped to beat them, bro. Simple as
I like that. I like that. So, what's your final matchup? You got Everton.
So you went for the more like same team thing, so I didn't do that. I should have probably that would have made more sense. But I got the 2023-2024 Timberwolves
Yeah.
versus the 2018 Rockets. So obviously the Timberwolves have Anthony Edwards,
Yeah.
Cat, Gobert, Conley. We got Jaden McDaniels, Nas Reed, Alexander Walker, Kyle Anderson. List goes on. 2018 Rockets. This is prime Harden, prime Chris Paul, because he was
Yeah.
still an all-star. Clint Capella, PJ Tucker, prime PJ Tucker, which I don't know why I said prime PJ Tucker, but good PJ Tucker. Trevor Ariza, Ryan Anderson, Sixth Man of the Year, Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
Wow, Everton. Luke Mbah. Why did I say that? Anyways, but he's actually good. He was a good defender back then.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. But all in all, Timberwolves were the number one defense this year
Mm-hmm.
and the 15th or 16th best offense. The Rockets were the best offense this year and the seventh best defense.
Is this the team that went 0 for 27?
Yeah, it was.
And you want them to go against this Minnesota Timberwolves defense when they might go 0 for 27?
Dude, that's such
They might go 0 for 60.
Oh my God. That's such a once in a lifetime thing, bro. There's no way they do it again, bro.
Hey, with this defense, anything's possible. We saw what they were doing to those 3 stars. I know, like,
3?
2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just this Timberwolves defense is it's one of the best defensive teams we've ever seen. I just don't think the Rockets are compatible to go against that. I know you got prime Chris Paul, which is cool, and you got one of the best James Hardens we've ever seen in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just Devin Booker was considered the best shooting guard in the league, and we saw what they did to him. Who knows what's gonna happen to James Harden's chain when he goes against this defense, bro? I gotta be honest.
Okay.
And then I know the Rockets also have a good defense, but we've seen Anthony Edwards go against the best of the best, and he's still getting his buckets. So I feel kind of bogus saying I trust this current AD or this current Anthony Edwards over this like MVP James Harden, but just I've seen James. This is a big thing too. We've seen postseason James Harden. We've seen postseason Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm. No, Chris Paul. Okay, he has some bad moments, but if you look at his playoff numbers, they're actually good. My fault.
Hit this clutch 3 to make it a 37-point game.
Oh my.
But yeah, it's just like we know Harden's like legacy, and if he's gonna have to go with his legacy against this elite defense, that concerns me too much. I'll give it a 6-game series for the current Timberwolves.
Okay. I'm mad at your reasoning. My whole thing when I was thinking about this was who's guarding Ant. I've seen Cat struggle against this Rockets team, but I'm not gonna hold that against him. That's year 3 Cat versus like year 7, 8 Cat at this point. So I can't hold that over his head. Clint Capella and Rudy Gobert.
No offense.
Realistically, yeah, it's just kind of the same thing
just
at that
sit
point.
in the paint, dummy.
Yeah, literally get on the block and get out the way.
Yeah.
But then yeah, like you brought up with James Harden, we know playoff James Harden.
Yeah.
We know playoff James Harden. I mean, look, if this is earlier, like if this is like a first rounder, then you're gonna get a good James Harden because usually he's not bad in the first round.
Yeah, when those legs ain't tired.
Yeah, once we get to them later rounds, and it's like, I don't know. And then Chris Paul, this is one of the last times he performed good in the playoffs, so I won't say bad about him. And then the rest of the team, like this one's tough.
That shot by Kyrie was tough.
That's why I said ooh.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, here's why it's making this hard. Pause. That 2018 Rockets team went 7 games with the 2018 Warriors. One of the
Huh.
teams we considered like one of the greatest teams, if not the greatest team ever. Like, I can't just act like that didn't happen,
Real.
you know? And low key, they were up 3-2 on that Warriors team before Chris Paul got injured,
Hmm.
which is something to consider. Now, I know it's two different things, but they were 1 game away from beating that Warriors team. I don't know if that, because I don't think that Warriors team is better than I mean, no. I think that Warriors team is better than the current Timberwolves.
They
I feel like
are.
we could both agree.
I can agree on that. But
So it's like,
it's like stylistic matchups though. Like how we talk about like UFC, like when the best striker goes against like a
mm,
somewhat decent grappler, we see what happens.
true. And if you know anything about UFC math, it's never just, oh, you lost to Volkanovski 3 times, so that means I'm gonna beat you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
getting
okay.
at. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's never that perfect. I don't know. This is very tough because I just a team that almost beat the 2018 Warriors. I don't know if they'd lose, but okay, stylistically, I think the Timberwolves would probably handle that.
Yeah.
But because of what I've seen the 2018 Rockets do, I'm gonna go 2018 Rockets in yeah, 7, no 6. Because if it goes to 7, they might miss 27 straight threes.
Yeah. Yeah, so
But no, I'm gonna go Rockets. I'm gonna go Rockets.
yeah, I'm gonna disagree with Everton on this one just because I trust Cat spacing and then Anthony Edwards going against Clint Capella in the paint. I know who I'm trusting in that scenario. And just
Hmm.
the defensive matchup, I just think it's a nightmare for that Rockets team.
Not mad at it. Definitely not mad at it.
So then that'll give us one team left. We're gonna look at the Orlando Magic.
Okay.
We're gonna do this Magic team versus the 07-08 Magic. 5
The
seed versus
oh,
3 seed.
okay.
47
Hmm.
35, 52 30, 22nd offense, second best defense, seventh offense, sixth best defense. But rosters where it gets different because like I don't love this old Magic roster. You get Jameer Nelson. I'm gonna be honest, can't tell you a single thing about Keith Bogans. I can't. Hedo Turkoglu though, that was a dog. Rashard
Hmm.
Lewis was a dog. Dwight Howard was a
Hmm.
dog. And you get
Hmm.
like Maurice Evans, Keon Dooling, Carlos Arroyo. And then you go to this Magic team, we get Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., Markel Fultz, Gary Harris, Mo Wagner, Jonathan Isaac. I like this current Magic team more, but
Hmm.
just Magic Dwight Howard, man. Magic
Woo,
Dwight Howard. You just had to
boy.
be there.
Yeah. Oh man. The thing is, when you use like 2000s teams versus current teams, no matter what, the current teams are probably more than mostly are gonna be deeper. Like
Yeah.
because them 2000s teams, it was just like two dudes and then me and you, bro. Like
Yeah.
those teams were not had no depth, but because that the way the league was made up, it didn't matter.
Hmm.
Um, the thing is, right? I don't see this current team being able to handle Orlando prime Dwight Howard. Like prime Dwight, yo, oh my goodness. The dominance, like he
What's he
probably would
doing to
average
Wendell Carter?
25, 18, and 4 blocks, bro. Like
Yeah.
he was different back then. And then like on the other side of the ball, defensively, that paint is you're not touching that paint. Like
No.
he's swatting everything, bro. Like
Mm.
it's insane.
And that's like
And
a
then like
nightmare for Banchero.
literally a nightmare. And then like the spacing, like I know you know some guys were like, but the thing that got the Magic to the finals the year after this season, because this is the season they didn't make it, but the year after they made it, was the spacing they had like around a guy like Dwight Howard, having Rashard Lewis, Hedo
So
Turkoglu,
so ahead of his time.
literally saw it. Yeah, Rashard Lewis and Hedo so ahead
Yeah.
of their times. And then Jameer Nelson, like they had a bunch of dudes who could shoot and play some defense alongside probably the best defensive player in the league at that point in time.
Mm.
So I'm gonna go with that Magic team, because there's
How
no
many
answer
how many
for
games?
you got 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
think
think that
depth has to play an issue at some
it
point,
does.
especially in
Yeah.
today's age of basketball.
Yeah, like
Yeah, because with how quick we're moving down the court and all that, it's got to catch up at some point.
it does. Yeah, I agree. And then like when you look, the reason why the Cavs are even in this situation is because they're just weird. I don't know what it is, but they're just weird.
Yeah,
And I think the old Magic team would just be able to handle this Magic team better than the Cavs or whatever. So yeah,
I
I'm gonna go old
do
Magic.
agree. I'm going to 07, 08 Magic in 5. It's just we don't see Dwight Howards like that no more.
No, no, not at all. Bam is probably the closest thing, and he's definitely not on that level.
I agree. And so that's gonna be it for our 5 segments. But as normal, we like to end on something fun. And in case
Yep.
you live underneath a rock, Drake and Kendrick Lamar are beefing. How can we make this in basketball terms? Let me tell you.
All
I
right.
have 4 beefs, and Everton is going to tell you if they were to make a diss track, who would win.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it. You're creative, man. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. So, which NBA, if these NBA beefs were to make diss tracks on each other, who would write the best diss track and who would win the beef?
All right.
We're gonna start off just really personal for Everton. Get close to home, give him some non-flashbacks, ruin his life. KD versus Russ.
Russ.
That easily?
Because here's the thing, bro.
You know, KD be rapping though.
I know he'd be rapping, but we've seen Russ do the videos. He'll be able to stay on beat. He can stay on beat, so we'll hold it down that way.
Yeah.
But the reason why I got Russ, anytime Russ starts talking shit,
Uh.
he gets personal in a way. Like he
Yeah.
starts saying, "You're not like that. You're not like that."
Uh.
But KD, you know what? No, no, no. I take that back. KD's gonna have a ghostwriter.
No, he's not. Don't disrespect KD like that. No, he ain't.
Oh
See,
man, I don't know.
I heard Katie has like had a feature on a song which I really like. So this is like Katie's gonna give like your J. Cole type diss track, while Russ is
Mhm.
gonna give you like an NBA young boy, just
Yeah,
120% energy type diss track. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I'll kill you.
yeah.
But like
I,
I'm not gonna scream in the microphone because I don't have the energy for that.
I think KD's diss just won't be as like, huh?
Yeah,
Whereas
but
Russ's might be like,
yeah,
you know
but
what I'm
like
saying?
Katie can be flex. I'm like, I got my ring.
Nobody gonna respect that part of the song, bro.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna be like that weak ass ring, bro. We don't care about that ring.
I still
So I
flex
feel
Russ ain't
like
gonna have like Russ can be like, oh, I'm so humble. I stayed home. Loser.
I'm going Russ because I just feel like Katie is not built like that to like really
Okay.
say the real things. I think Russ would just say whatever he wants to say.
Okay, okay. So our next beef, Matt Barnes versus Derek Fisher.
Oh, diss track? Because Matt Barnes beat the piss out of freaking Derek
At
Fisher.
95 miles per hour to pull up on him.
To beat his ass is crazy.
Matt Barnes has some crazy shit to say.
I still think Matt Barnes though, because like I feel like he'd really be able to hold down the beat and then like
Yeah.
really talk some shit on that. Derek Fisher
Uh,
does not give me that vibe that he'll be able to really talk some shit, bro. I just don't
no.
see it.
All right, give me a Derek Fisher rapper comparison.
I don't know, Common.
Nah, that's
I don't know.
disrespectful to Common.
That is disrespectful to Common. But like I just don't see him trying to diss him really.
I'm
Like,
seeing like some Ice JJ Fish coming from like Derek Fisher.
oh, you wanted me to be true. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, yes, he'd just be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, all right. So we got 2 more left. We're gonna do Michael Jordan versus Isaiah Thomas. So like I know Michael Jordan's the CEO of talking shit, but I know Isaiah Thomas got a lot to say.
He do. I fit the criteria. I just didn't make the team.
You think that I fear in you?
Yeah, he might have some bars there. I
Uh,
don't know. MJ's voice is too deep though. Like he might just sound weird behind the mic, you know?
hey, Pop Smoke was deep.
Oh, you're right, actually. Yeah. What'd you say?
I tried doing the Pop Smoke noise. I can't do it,
Oh,
but
oh, oh. Oh man. MJ
listen,
versus
Dior,
IT.
Dior, Mike and Millie.
Damn. I mean, MJ literally talks shit so much. Muggsy Bogues couldn't even function as a basketball player anymore, which is kind
Mm,
of crazy. I think MJ just has too much on IT for him
yeah.
to really like really go in. Because what is IT really gonna say outside of "Hey, you can't go left? Like I think I'm gonna go MJ. That might be Glaze, but I might go MJ because I feel like MJ just
Okay.
has more things he could say towards him than he could say to
Mm.
him.
Okay, well, we're gonna end on the toughest one. We're doing a group beef, so everyone's gonna have opportunities to hop on the mic.
Okay.
We're gonna go Malice and the Palace Pistons versus Pacers.
Easy. I got the Pacers.
Easy.
Here's why.
Whoa.
Ron Artest.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the song?
By by Babyface Ray.
No. By Ron Artest.
Oh, no.
Did you play 2K11?
No, my first 2K was 13 and 14.
We are the champions. Oh, wait, you didn't play 2K11? No.
He doesn't know how good 2K11 was. Oh
No.
my god.
But Ron Artest had a song on 2K11 that was actually legitimately like it's nostalgic. Like they say we warriors. Oh my god, it's so hard. Just strictly off that, I'm picking the Pacers because of that
Okay.
song. Strictly because
Because
of
Ron
that song.
Artest can sing. You're bringing that in a rap battle? I
Bro,
dare be in a rap battle and my opponent starts singing, bro.
bro. Because he's actually showing off that he could rap, whatever. That's really why I'm picking him. Because of
Okay.
that song. I'm being biased. Very, very biased.
I'm
Just
not picking against Ben Wallace, is all I'm gonna say. I don't care what it is. If it comes to violence, I'm taking Ben Wallace any day of the week.
no, you know what? Rasheed Wallace might
Yeah.
actually cook too.
Mm-hmm.
But Steven Jackson?
I'm telling you, this can be a fight. Literally.
This might get really personal.
Yeah. I hope your mama die. I hope your brother die.
This might get really personal, and I'm kind of here for it, but I don't know. I'm gonna just stick with my bias.
All right, so that's Everton's thought on potential rap dissing, rap beefs. We'll see what happens. But thank you so much for tuning in to the 16th episode of the 5 Out Podcast. Is what we look forward to doing every week. It gets us through school, but soon it'll get us through summer. Make sure you
Yes.
like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you do everything. Enjoy the content because on YouTube, we're now uploading the full podcast so you guys can watch it there as well. We're
Yep.
making moves. I'm Joey the Master, joined by Everton Levy, and make sure you stay smooth.
Stay.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey the LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.